It's enough, I think. It's enough, I think.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Green Live stream. I'm your host, Edie Arndell. So happy to be here. And I'm here with my wonderful co-host, Mr. Scott Free.
Hey, everybody. Scott? How's it going? Doing good. Doing good.
We got a lot to cover today. We're going to do our best, and we're also going to have a very special guest, Mr. CONLEY from Hawaii.
Jordan
He's running
Conley.
for USF. Jordan CONLEY.
Yeah.
Yeah. So haven't met him yet. So we're very excited to introduce him to our audience. So that'll be, I'm not quite sure when he's going to join us, but he will pop in at some point. So you want to go ahead and start with the first Instagram?
Sure. Let's get this set up here. Sorry, I should have set it up before.
That's okay. Yeah, this is a little shocking, but we got a lot to say about it. Scott thinks it's a photo op, and yeah, let's see what you all think.
Yeah. Starting a little in the middle of it.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not welcome in this community. Get the fuck out of here. That's it.
You are sad and scared.
Better be fucking fast, dude. Go home! Fucking loser! That's not legal. They can just fucking get into a fucking thing and ride off into the sunset. And you're gonna let them do it. I get it. You don't want to deal with it, but that is not legit. It is totally. They're not allowed to do that. And they're not going to fucking do it. I know. Then don't stop us blocking it. I'd rather them go to jail. I get that they can't do it on that principle, but they can do it on this. I know. So why can't we break the fucking law?
Right.
So it's so weird. So I've always had this issue, but our producer at Edie has kind of convinced me that I always thought what was so weird about these things was that it was so coordinated in terms of outfit. It looks way too gay to me. And I'm gay, folks, with the gay joke there. But our producer was saying, actually, they do like coordinate. And now it makes sense, like the KKK in the white robe, right? Everything was like coordinated. Mm-hmm. So, okay. But yeah, the whole thing is weird. And I guess what's super weird, like you guys are pointing out that going into a van is illegal. And especially, did he lock it?
No, that's just closing it.
Okay.
It's just like, that's how it like closes. It's like a hook.
Yeah,
and
glass.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and one of the counter protesters was trying to get in and say, "Hey, you're not supposed to do that." The cop pulled him off. And the cops are just standing there.
I know.
And they're facing the people that are like, "What's up with these people dropping into our neighborhood?" And the point that the last person was trying to make, like, you're just going to let them drive off like that? It is against DOT regulation. I know. I drove a truck.
Okay.
To have people standing in the back of the truck, it's a safety violation completely.
Okay.
Not only did they say, "Excuse me, what are you doing?" They should, the cops should have been turned around, and facing the people getting out of the truck and say, "Excuse me, what are you doing here? Can I see some ID?" Did you hear any of that?
Right.
I didn't.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, the whole thing was weird, and I guess it's just that's our modern KKK is they're weird. I mean, what the fuck point was that? It's so stupid. Get out of a van and have cameras on people and say chants and they get up and leave. It's pathetic. But, I remember hearing that the black guy maybe 50 years ago who kind of hung out with KKK. And they kind of let them in or something, or I can't remember the whole scenario. But anyway, his conclusion was, folks, these are a bunch of losers. A bunch of fucking losers.
Well, and the point of it is to scare people. And this is from America We Need to Talk Instagram. So just so you know, it's AMERCE _WE _ need to talk. Yeah, _ They get some interesting things. So,
yeah, no, I mean, it's weird, but actually it made me want to add this, which I'm just doing right now. So this makes it super creepy. Okay. This makes the creepiness legit. So this is Homeland Security, and these are join ICE. This is a job posting from Homeland Security. Serve your country, defend your culture. What the fuck? Right? I mean, they may as well sent this to the Nazi group that they just, like, they should have a CC to the Nazi group. Defend your culture. Whose culture are you defending? The white one. I mean, what other one would there be? It's so, and no undergraduate degree required. So CC it right to that group. And our producer thought the group might have been, what, 80, did you catch the name of what? Red.
Oh, Blood Tribe.
Blood Tribe. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
There's several.
Yeah, right. But no, it's just so, it's all, it's creepy until it gets legitly creepy. Government creepy.
Yeah. And the point is to intimidate, and we're not going to allow that.
Well, but when it's the government is sanctioning it, is what they're doing. Defend your culture. Yeah. I mean, that's, what they think they're doing is defending white culture.
I have a culture of love.
Oh, there you go. Different than white culture.
That's my culture.
Trust me, quite different than white culture.
Exactly.
Oh, speaking of white culture, should we play the other one?
Oh yeah, do the dice.
No,
this is hilarious. You might want to mute it because of I don't know if we're allowed to play the music, but
no. It
should be fine. Okay.
If we mute it, we lose all the jokes. So
okay, cool. That's true.
Right, but it's just
we'll take our chances. This is called decolonization enforcement, DICE, DICE.
And the problem is they tell the jokes. The problem is they tell the jokes right away, so we may miss a joke or two, especially with my inability to work this crap. So let's see. Here we go.
DICE raids happening now. Breaking news.
Agents hit Whole Foods this morning, targeting undocumented colonizers. Several fled, abandoning their organic almond milk.
Ma'am, how do you feel about being deported?
They want me to go back. Back where? I've never even been to Finland.
That pilgrim visa expired a couple centuries ago, gang. Back across the pond you go, chap. Cheerio, motherfucker.
DICE agents swarmed today's NASCAR event, targeting legacy squatters. Parking lot is still filled with abandoned pickup trucks, beer cans, and red caps. Since the DICE raids, the states of Maine and Nebraska now have a population of 0. Yes, folks, 0. Overnight, the majority of Congress became fugitives. A record 428 seats now sit empty. That's right, 428 out of 535 folks. Target has officially been declared a sanctuary establishment, with the melanin deficient and the culturally displaced refusing to evacuate. This just in.
I'm 2% Cherokee on my mom's side.
That ain't enough to stay, Chief. Pack them up.
Since the DIC raids, insider trading dropped 87%. HOA disputes vanished overnight. Karen calls to 911 hit record low.
I handled mergers, not massacres. This can't be how it ends. I even donate to Black Lives Matter.
Oh, that is the best. And that's courtesy of Jonesy. I don't know them. Right? Isn't that what it said at the bottom?
I think so.
Jonesy or Jonesy, but just brilliant and really just so well done. Oh my God. I'm not sure. Did I find that on Instagram or something? It's wonderful.
Yeah, it was Instagram. That's hilarious. And that's, we have to laugh at them because we can't, that makes you not afraid of them. We can't be afraid of them. Don't be silly and do something stupid, but also don't let the fear seep in. So I wanted to play a couple of clips from, this is retired Special Forces Anthony Aguilar and Amazon labor leaders Chris Small on Israel's brutality. This was the Katie Halper show, but what Anthony Aguilar says, because he was there, he's been covered quite extensively, but this interview seemed a little different. He went on a tourist visa. He showed up in Israel and went to the Gaza Humanitarian Fund, and he tells it like it is. So Hazel, do you have that ready? We're starting at,
where were we?
Go ahead.
Where did we get cut off?
I was talking about the amount of meals that often GHF will kind of celebrate and communicate. And one thing I think is interesting that everybody needs to know when they hear these numbers is that they talk about like just today they talked about 107 million meals. So when you think about that, 107 million meals.
Actors, we can make you believe we know what we're doing.
Sorry,
When in
yeah,
fact,
we don't pay for it, so we gotta suffer.
Over 72 days of distribution for a population of 2.1 to 2.2 million, with the supposed giving them 3 meals a day, three meals of 200 calories a piece, by the way, 600 calories a day. That's starvation, and that's only the equivalent of 16 days of food. So out of 72 days, you have 16 days of food. If you were to spread that food out over 72 days, the people of Gaza are eating one 200 calorie meal every 1.5 days. And
looks like they lost them.
I took a deliberate effort to understand, like, what are we feeding them? What was the UN method, and what are we doing now in comparison? Because it just seemed so dismal. It seemed so lacking. And I was always told, like, oh yeah, this is equivalent to that. And I was like, I don't think it is. So, I did that math and I looked at it. So whenever they advertise this, realize that they're celebrating the starvation of the population. Imagine if your child went to school and the teacher said, the child is looking emaciated and lacking energy, and they came to your house and they said, hey, are you feeding your child? And you're like, of course I'm feeding my child. They eat once a week. You would be put in jail. Your child would be taken from you. The population of Gaza should be, the GHF should be taken away from GHF, and they should not be doing it. Also because the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation is an appendage of the Israeli government, of the IDF. It is the IDF's way of subterfuging the humanitarian violations of humanitarian law or violations of Geneva Convention by placing the actor as somebody else, while the IDF conduct the action. So, case in point being, during the UN, the days before the blockade, just after the ceasefire ended, there were still 400 distribution sites throughout the entire enclave, south to north, west to east, 400. When GHF came in, we only opened 4. And I know that because I was personally involved with the establishment and opening up the 4. There's only 3 now. And all 3 of those are located in the furthest portion of the south of Gaza, down near the Egyptian border, away from any human beings that need food. In Rafah, down to the south, no one lives there. It is a dystopian wasteland that has been leveled to the ground 10 times over. There is not a living thing there other than the IDF and these distribution sites. So why would we build distribution sites to feed a starving population where there are no people? And the only way for them to get there is to walk great distance, that in walking to the site to get food, they burn twice as many more calories than they're actually getting in the food that we give them. And we're also giving them far less than what they need. It is starvation. It is deliberate in a systematic process for starvation, which, if you take the aspect of starvation and how widespread it's become now, and it's become one of the primary factors in death, sickness, disease, and and starvation-related illness, that's genocide. There's no other way to call it. There's no other thing to call it. And if America and the world doesn't start looking at this and calling it for what it is, definitions that are in the dictionary, these aren't definitions that Tony Aguilar makes up. These are definitions in the dictionary that are in the language of the protocols of the Geneva Convention, that it is genocide. There is starvation. And the United States, because of our tax dollars and
yeah, I just want to comment. It really got me thinking of, when he says definitions and terminology, that is one of the real powers of propaganda. Mm-hmm. So the use of the word terrorist and the way that we have used that word, we declare Hamas terrorists. And so Piers Morgan on every single show, every single guest, do you condemn Hamas? Do you condemn Hamas? Do you condemn Hamas? What he was doing was his function, and that is to try to force people to think of Hamas as terrorists. And the very important vote that happened with the Biden administration in charge was to defund UNRWA. How did they get them to all defund UNRWA? UNRWA. That was the main system of food distribution that he talked about, which they have to have because everything that they have has been destroyed. So they're all refugees, everyone. By Israel. So that the use of that term and the Biden administration, they defunded UNRWA. Why? Because someone had said that there were Hamas people in UNRWA. Now, Hamas was actually a political organization. They voted for them and they voted them to be in charge, but they used the term terrorists so they can do these type of things. The people who wrote those laws to defund UNRWA fully understood that the end result of that, it might have taken a year for the whole system to fall apart and see massive starvation, but that's what is happening. And they knew it was going to happen. And that's the power of that terminology of terrorist.
Yeah. And that's what it was designed to do.
Right.
You can fast forward to 107. So a couple more minutes of this and then we'll move on. 107:28. If you can get there. Hopefully a commercial doesn't pop up. If it does, it
said something about there have been allegations of you can probably guess if I think they're true, about a baby being microwaved that was repeated by Tammy Bruce, I believe. And I think you said that on a show that you appeared on. Do you have any updates about that claim?
Yeah, so on Breaking Points, I think it was last week, I was talking about that, and what's important about that statement is that, yes, that's been debunked, that is not true. Conveying that in the approach that Israel, the IDF, take, because in this conflict, what's going on right now, narratives have become very popular or very powerful. Well, they've always been, but in this case, the narrative of dehumanization, to use a bombastic, overblown narrative to justify the dehumanization of the entire population of Gaza, to say that Hamas did this, it was so bad that everybody deserves to be punished. And look how bad it was. And what's worse than saying something like that? So when Israelis go to Kibbutz Be'eri, which was hit outside of Gate 96, to get a tour of it, that's one of the things that they're told. It's kind of like when I was growing up in Texas and we went to the Alamo every year, we were told that the Texans won, right? And you grow up and you're like, well, that's not true. Like, it didn't happen. Right. So it's kind of like you get told these things and you realize that's not true. Yeah. It's a narrative that's specifically designed to incite anger and hate and visceral hate. So in Israel, there's an overlook over Gaza that's kind of a elevated area on the Israeli side, on a knoll, a tell, if you will, and you can take a picture with Gaza in the background burning, bombs dropping. It's a tourist spot to take a picture to celebrate. This is not how civilized societies behave. This is not how civilized societies act. Yes, there's hatred, and yes, there's anger, and yes, lives on October 7th and before on both sides have been hurt. Regardless of it, it doesn't justify genocide. It doesn't justify in fact, whenever politicians say it, I tell myself, I'm like, you just on the record, verbatim, described a war crime. To characterize the entire population of a to characterize the entire population of a group or a nation or a nation state or a population as the enemy and treat them as such is a war crime. It's specifically in the protocols of the Geneva Convention. You can't.
And I think the important thing is right at the end, what he said, Geneva Convention. It's like, do we live in a world where we will have that? And I doubt it. I just doubt that we're going to have those conventions. I mean, according to the Geneva Convention, Joe Biden would be thrown in jail. In fact, I think he would be hanged. But we don't keep that around anymore. But I think back in that time, didn't they hang some people? I can't remember.
I don't know.
But
I'm against the death penalty.
Right, I am too. I am not for that, folks.
Yeah.
And they still do it a lot. I'm against the death penalty. But I'm just saying that's how serious that society was about the past crimes that took place in Germany. I don't see that happening.
And now our governments are complicit and enablers.
Right.
All of our Western governments.
Yeah.
So I that said everything for me. I don't.
And you know what? And thank you, Edie, for sharing that one, because that's another point that I forget to talk about. Is they make tourist sites. I mean, when they were doing the March to Return back in 2018, and they had people would set up their little lawn chairs and watch the IDF soldiers snipers shoot the people that in Gaza that were just protesting. They would watch that stuff, and it's sick.
Blood sport. It's sick.
Sick.
Like, so they don't see them as people.
Yeah, and
I mean,
don't know how you get there. But again, that's the massive propaganda that goes on. That's people don't understand our mainstream media is the enemy. They are truly the enemy. I mean, they push this stuff and push it, and people believe it. It's too bad that.
Well, they've been trained from being kids. That's how it happens.
Well,
and some people, being who they are able to break out of it and go, oh, that's not right. Like who you are, but it is part of your culture. It's part of your family. It's part of where you go to church. It's part of like all of it. It's just been bombarded, and that's the culture you live in. It's hard to break out of that because you have to leave everyone.
Yeah.
Everything But I wanted to move on to the gray zone, Hazel.
Okay.
Gaza Humanitarian Foundation, which Tony Aguilar was talking about.
Right.
A partner endorsed Hitler, called Muslims rapists, and Palestine a shithole.
Yeah. So, and that's good to, again, you have to learn the systems. So it's called Gaza Humanitarian, what was it? Gaza Humanitarian Foundation. So it sounds wonderful. It's actually run by Zionists whose intent are to kill Palestinians. So they give it a nice name, but that's what replaced UNRWA.
And like Tony was saying, they had 400 and now there's 4. And now they're down to 3.
Yeah.
And they're drawing them to a place where nobody lives, making them wear themselves out, and they shoot at them as they leave. But anyway, Matthew Murphy, a former Green Beret, I guess on the bad side, because so was Mr. Aguilar, and president of Sentinel Foundation, has recently praised Hitler on Instagram and claimed to be conducting manhunting for an unnamed African prime minister. His foundation is closely partnered with the notorious Gaza Humanitarian Foundation aid operation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for a gray zone.
You can take that down. I'm just going to do the highlights today. You can find all this in our show notes. Unless you're on Facebook. Because Facebook only lets you do 10.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the situation. And again, all these Democrats are now crying about, oh, the starving people of Gaza. They voted for it. They know they voted for it. That's the thing.
Yeah. Yeah. And, it's definitely spreading. So they have always been doing this in the West Bank. That these people have been terrorized for decades, but now they're actually annexing it. And so this is from the next article is from Infinite Jazz. I can't remember where I saw him, but I thought he was great. So the violent settlers are just doing their job. From Gaza's man-made famine to West Bank pogroms, is that how you say it? The system is actually doing what it was built to do. Within the first hour of my January 2024 trip, so he's been there, to Masafar Yatta, the cluster of 19 communities in the south of the Hebron Hills, featured in No Other Land, which I don't know what happened to that guy. Last time I saw him, he was thrown into the back of an IOF truck. Settlers and soldiers stormed the village I was visiting. It was for the residents of At Tuwani, a typical afternoon. For decades, they've faced relentless demolitions and violence at the hands of settlers, soldiers, and the state. The government designated the area a military training zone in the 1970s. So did it start on October 7th? Don't think so. And just last month, cleared the final legal hurdle to greenlight its full demolition and expulsion. That's all you need to know. The rest of it's interesting, but yeah.
Yeah, it's really sad. There's a local jazz musician in town, Ted Sirota, who has organized a lot of fundraisers to try to help just one family that he's reached out to. And he communicates with them, and the mom is just giving up. She's just giving up. And it's really sad. It's really sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. No word. I did check this week to see what Yemen was doing. My favorite country did. They're the ones that are bombing the port and trying to, destroy Israel's economy. And I'm wishing all the best. Wishing them all the best.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty amazing.
Oh.
I was just going to say, it's pretty amazing that this tiny, very poor country has been able to even stop the U.S. They bombed some of the ships over there, and the U.S. just ended their, occupation. Well, I don't know. I can't say they ended their occupation, but they certainly pulled back after receiving attacks from Yemen.
Well, the U.S. has been doing that by proxy through Saudi Arabia for a long time.
Yeah.
We give weapons to Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia attacks Yemen, just like we give weapons to Ukraine, and Ukraine attacks Russia, and just like we want to give weapons to Taiwan so they can attack China. It's insanity, which is gonna, regular people are gonna be annihilated. I just want to say I'm so thankful for everybody that comments. We got kind of a packed show today, so if I miss your comment, I apologize. Please like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. Tell all your friends that this is a new show. It's from the green perspective, but it's also from humanity's perspective.
And it's from Edie and Scott's perspective. I'm going to say that. It's not like, everyone in the Green Party agrees with us, but we're trying. We're trying to push the Green Party in this direction to make it more humanitarian and not so, so going with the mainstream.
Yeah, mainstream media is bullshit. And even these, people are telling me, oh, so-and-so that's been horrible for a decade. Oh, now they're talking about the starvation. They're pushing back on the Dems. I'm like, no, they're not.
Piers Morgan has done the same thing. But the thing to remember about that is he did his job when it was required. they are now all starving, in helped by Piers Morgan, who pulled the bullshit for years and years. Now he's on the same side crying, oh, this you.
Well, now, I mean, for it to you guys, you got to think logically. For it to happen all at once everywhere, somebody gave the go ahead. Now the question is who?
Yes. Well, massive propaganda, these systems that have been set up. But you're right. I mean, and you notice that, and we've seen tons of videos where you watch a newscaster say something, and then they show the next newscaster on a different program say the exact thing, and the next one, and the next one, and it could go on and on and on because they've been sent the memo, right? That's how it works. They get sent the memo.
Yep. Now you can talk about the genocide. Choosing the lesser evil is still choosing evil. Jerry Garcia, 30 years. Today.
Yeah, 30 years. Okay. Yep. I know. It's just, I mean, that's another thing. Talk about education. When you see all the people that have talked about Palestine, like Malcolm X and Muhammad Ali, and like all these people from 50 years ago talking about Palestine. Yep.
And Hunter S. Thompson talked about the lesser evilism back in the 60s. Yep. Like, some people were just ahead of their time. I wish we all could have listened and caught up.
I would say some people were behind the times. They were on when it was important. All of us are catching up. We're the slow ones.
Yeah. I know. Well, that's what I mean. Everybody else needed to catch up. They were ahead. They were ahead of us on all this. So the next thing is from how I got introduced to the Green Party, Mr. Ralph Nader. He's calling it a Palestinian Holocaust. He believes there are 500,000 dead, and he did the Substack with Sam Husseini. I'll just do a couple of excerpts. You can't have a tiny enclave the size geographically of Philadelphia with 2.3 million people have 170,000 tons of bombs, all kinds of artillery, sniper fire, denial of food, water, medicine, healthcare, all kinds of infectious diseases, destroying homes, apartment buildings, markets, religious institutions, educational institutions, anything that stands, anything that moves. 75% of Gaza is now completely destroyed. And they're trying to persuade us that there are still 97 out of every 100 Gazans alive. What are they made of? Steel and asbestos? He also asked, by the way, everybody seems to forget, how did this happen? How did the most sophisticated, multi-tiered border security in the world between Israel and Gaza suddenly collapse on October 7th?
Right.
And he warned us about the prospect of an attack here in the terms of retaliation against the U.S. having backed Israel's genocide. And that's all we need to have Trump turn us into a complete, total police state, terrorist, fascist dictatorship. He's got lots of descriptive words. So,
yeah. And I think, it's the important thing is that, yes, everyone is saying this stuff and we need to, I mean, it's a battle. It's a constant battle because certainly the politicians will keep spreading the lie propagandas about October 7th. So it has to be constantly attacked for that. I remember when it just recently, I think it was Kamala Harris who still was talking about the mass rape on October 7th. I mean, it's a constant battle, constant.
Never heard her talk about the Hannibal Directive where Israel didn't want anybody, to be kidnapped.
Right. And that
didn't hear them talk about, how they told their guards to stand down. We covered that last week. The guards were told not to go on patrol.
And none of them ever admit that it's all been proved a lie. That's the other thing they never do. Do any of them ever apologize? Has Rachel Maddow ever apologized for 6 years of Trump-Russia lies? I mean, never. None of them do.
Nope. So this is not the first time. I wanted to cover this. This is called the Silent Holocaust. Israel's Guatemalan genocide, and this is from the Chris Hedges YouTube. We started at 3:45, and then we can take a break at 6:18, then go to 8:48.
And what they are. there are very obvious parallels, right? Both, as you've said, involve genocide against the indigenous population, whether in Guatemala or in Palestine. In both situations, before Zionists arrived in Palestine, for example, and Guatemala, even with the arrival of the conquistadors, the populations were in the great majority the indigenous people. In Guatemala, that was the Mayans, and in Palestine, the Palestinians, por supuesto. In both cases, in order to make room and for outsiders to arrive and take over the whole country, and to take over all of the minerals, the oil, the fruit, the sources of commerce, et cetera, the goal was to basically displace and destroy the indigenous populations. That really reached a crescendo during the 1980s, as you were just saying, when the government of Guatemala, shocked by the popularity of a number of reform efforts, launched a military campaign of eradication up in the Mayan highlands, also of labor unions, also of church efforts, et cetera, but the obliteration of the Mayan population for commercial reasons, for political reasons, and because of racism as well, and because they wanted to take the country completely away. Palestine, that's exactly what we see happening now with Gaza. Not only are there two campaigns of genocide, which involve the complete obliteration of the majority population, which of course is indigenous in both countries, but both Guatemala, the United States, the Guatemalan government, and also the government of Israel were willing to use any methods of barbarity necessary, daily acts of torture, terror, unjust imprisonment, cruelty, destruction of the, any hope for a fair trial or reasonable liberty from unjust detention or taking away your land, whatever. They were willing to go down to the very last bit to make sure that everything stayed the way they wanted it to be. And
Edie, can you assist me a little with this? Because I have not watched the entire show. So what years are we talking about? Is this a...
Did they say the years?
Oh, we came
I think she said in the 80s.
80s, okay.
Yeah. So, it's not the first time they've done this. They've been working on this for decades, and the playbook is similar. And the reason I wanted this to be the last part of this segment because the seeds of what they did in Gaza and what they did in Guatemala are here and happening now, and probably have been happening for decades, but now it's becoming more and more obvious. Yeah, they did. I mean, it was the majority population. It was like 90% of the country.
It just reminds me of the tweet I was going to put up, but now I don't see it down there. That's probably my fault for not including it.
Okay. Well,
I could just say it. I'll just say it. And this is from Kim Hive, and it says, the reason Hitler is mainstream taboo and not King Leopold, Cecil Rhodes, or Winston Churchill is because Hitler had European victims. And I think, we missed the graphic on that one. But basically, it's just the idea that's, again, all of the propaganda, when it's indigenous people to the area and they are non-white, there's a chance that we will not have heard of it, or we will not put it on the same level of importance, that we did Germany. I mean, throughout Africa, throughout South America, I mean, there's been, genocides, and we haven't, we didn't learn them in our education system. Why? Because the people of color were the ones that were slaughtered. Mm-hmm. So.
And to the winner goes the narrative.
Yeah.
So let's keep playing to 8:48. Oh, you're at 8:48. No, back it up to 6:18. Yeah.
Oh, we must have seen it, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
And as we've discussed before, I see huge similarities to the way they're dealing with this stage of the war in Gaza, the destruction of Gaza, which is in Guatemala. They were called the development polos de desarrollo, or model villages, which at the time were very obviously just about identical to the strategic hamlets that we saw in Vietnam, where all of the survivors were sort of rounded up. And if they wanted any food, any shelter, any safety of any kind, they couldn't look to the rest of the world. They were completely locked in. They had to look only to the Guatemalan military that was holding their village hostage, basically, or holding them completely defenseless and with no other sources of or means of survival. That's exactly what I'm looking at right now. You know much more than I do on that, but that's exactly what concerns me now about the fact that the boat with Greta Thunberg on it, trying to bring supplies in, because the Palestinians are absolutely in a state of starvation, thanks to the Zionist government and the United States complicity. They were not allowed in. They were in fact dragged off their ship and imprisoned or arrested. But if people do want any source of food for their kids, they have to go, I think it's called the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation or whatever, that's providing some places where they're able to get some assistance. But
well, let me just interrupt. It's only 4 distribution points. UN had 400. It's not even a pretense of providing adequate food supplies. It's exactly what happened in the highlands, because one of the tactics that the Guatemalan military used was destroying crops. It became impossible for indigenous communities to feed themselves unless they went to these quote unquote, model villages, which were just, armed, ringed, concentration camps. They were controlled not only by the Guatemalan military, but as you remember, these civil defense units, which I ran into in the highlands, and they had their faces completely covered with hoods. So it's exactly the same, that you want to eat, then you have to crawl and beg
and
for
eat out of
a paltry bit of food from your
I
killers.
hold a pistol. Yeah, I'd like to describe.
Yeah, wow, parallels. Wow.
So that's why I wanted to play that.
Yeah,
that thing at the beginning.
Yeah.
They're creating their apparatus. They're showing themselves now. And your citizenship is not going to save you. The next, we'll move on to the next section, but they're creating our own cage. They're Dorothy Lennon, which I've seen her online. She's commented. So someday I hope to maybe meet her or maybe have her on if you're listening, Dorothy.
Yeah, I see her on Facebook, and I like all of her stuff. She's fantastic.
Yeah. So she writes a Substack called the Dorothy Lennon Substack. And, our own cage, the border wall's true purpose. And I feel like instinctively I knew this. I'm like, are they trying to keep people out, or are they trying to keep us in? And Ron Paul talked about it back in 2011. The oligarchy gets their agendas passed by, at times, having the public do their dirty work for them. One of the items they want is a massive fence wall between Mexico and the U.S., not to keep undocumented immigrants out. That's what they tell us, right? In the event of an emergency or martial law, it's to keep people in. They don't want human beings they can exploit for their private enterprises leaving the country. And, I believe that's what the prison systems are for, to round up the people that are trying to fight back. So the rest of the people that are in the free society are too scared to do anything. That's the point of it.
Yeah, there's no doubt that our prison system, much of it has been set up for the free labor aspect. I mean, the very discriminatory laws that were set up, like crack versus cocaine, crack blacks used, cocaine whites used, and that the CIA flooded urban areas with crack. And again, to set up the prison systems, which provides free labor. And, I didn't understand the extent of that. I mean, that is massively what's going on, folks. If you don't understand that the people in prisons And sometimes for drug use, I think drugs should be legal because it's you're doing it to yourself. So it's absurd that that's illegal.
Bodily autonomy.
Right, right. And but it is a massive system of almost free labor. I mean, you're talking about like 5 cents a day for an 8-hour day. And folks, most of the people in prisons are working. They are. And that is what's going on.
It's forced labor, and it's the thing that got left out of the 14th Amendment.
Right. In terms of the abolition of slavery, except.
Yeah. So if you break the law, whatever, and who decides the laws? It's not the people. We'll put you in prison, then we'll make you work for free or almost free.
And the massive amount of prisons being built right now are private prisons, folks. And private prisons, like any other private industry, has to make a profit. So their goal is to fill them up.
Keep those beds full and keep that work happening.
And that's another BDS kind of thing that we need to do in this country is we need to expose the companies that use prison labor.
Good point, Scott.
We've got to put pressure on about that.
Good point as always.
I just wish I had the list of names in front of me. I don't right now, but we'll work on that for our next show.
Well, if y'all go to my Facebook, I've got at least a list where you can start, don't book with Airbnb or booking.com. There's companies that are actively supporting the genocide. Airbnb.
Yeah, that's a different.
I'm just saying that there's a place for y'all to start. Disney's one of them, you can go ahead and start the Chris Hedges if you have it ready, Hazel. And let us know if Jordan pops up because we'll just add him to the conversation.
If he wants to come in, I see him there. So if you want to come in, Jordan, it's up to you.
Yeah. So hang on. Go ahead and play the Chris Hedges, then I'll add Jordan.
Well, if you check with him.
Those who build concentration camps build societies of fear. They issue relentless warnings of mortal danger, whether from immigrants, Muslims, traitors, criminals, or terrorists. Fear spreads slowly, like a sulfurous gas, until it infects all social interactions and induces paralysis. It takes time. In the first years of the Third Reich, the Nazis operated 10 camps with about 10,000 inmates. But once they managed to crush all competing centers of power, labor unions, political parties, an independent press, universities, and the Catholic and Protestant churches, the concentration camp system exploded. By 1939, when World War II broke out, the Nazis were running over 100 concentration camps with some 1 million inmates. Death camps followed. Those that create these camps give them wide publicity. They are designed to intimidate. Their brutality is their selling point. Dachau, the first Nazi concentration camp, was not, as Richard Evans writes in The Coming of the Third Reich, an improvised solution to an unexpected problem of overcrowding in the goals, but a long-planned measure that the Nazis had envisioned visually from the very beginning. It was widely publicized and reported in the local, regional, and national press, and served as a stark warning to anyone contemplating offering resistance to the Nazi regime. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE agents, wearing plain clothes and circling neighborhoods in unmarked cars, kidnap legal residents, such as Mahmoud Khalil. These abductions replicate those I witnessed on streets of Santiago, Chile, under the dictatorship of Augusto Pinochet, or in San Salvador, El Salvador's capital, during the military dictatorship. ICE is swiftly evolving into our homegrown version of the Gestapo, or the People's Commissariat for Internal Affairs, NKVD. It oversees 200 detention facilities. It's a formidable domestic surveillance agency that has amassed data on most Americans, according to a report compiled by the Center of Privacy and Technology at Georgetown.
Yeah, you can stop there. Wow. Yeah. Welcome, Jordan.
Hey, Jordan. Yeah.
Aloha.
Sorry to be such a downer of a subject when you join us.
It's okay. That's what's going on right now, right?
Yeah.
No, I mean.
So how you guys doing?
Doing good. Yeah, thanks so much for coming on our program. We really
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna put your website in the chat for everyone if I can make it work. No. So this is Jordan CONLEY. He's Green Party of Hawaii, running for the U.S. House. We found out there's only 2 districts. We don't know if you're the big district or the small one. Is there only 2 districts?
The big one.
Well, there's 2. Well, I'm in the big one for people, but the small one for land area. So most of the people live on Oahu, right? So I'm one island, but then all the other islands have more land area, but they're less people. So.
Okay. All right. Cool. Cool.
Well, did you have a comment about that?
About the video?
Yeah.
So I saw you guys talking a little bit earlier. I like looked it up right before I came on, and how you guys were saying that they don't, if it's like a genocide somewhere where it's brown people, they don't really count it, right? They count the one in Germany, like you just showed, right? They talk about Hitler's the worst person ever. And so whenever I hear about that, like I always think of King Leopold from was it Belgium? And he like ruled the Congo for 20, 30 years or something like that. And they say he killed like 10 million people or something like that, maybe even more. But actually, I think it was like 100 million people. They say he killed like something. It was crazy. Like, I mean, people at home, look it up. King Leopold in the Congo, he killed quite a bit more people than Hitler did. And it's just not as big of a topic because they were black people. They're from Africa and no one really cares, right? But the way we've treated Africa and South America and other brown countries, like you guys are talking about Palestine, right? So I read about Palestine probably about 20 years ago. And so I learned about them and I started talking to people about Palestine and Israel, and I got really weird results, really weird comments, and people didn't really care, right? They're like, oh, I don't believe you and different stuff. And I try to tell them about it, but it was just really weird how people just didn't care, like you said. And then now that we have cell phones and now that they can live stream it and whatnot, everybody sees it and you can't hide it anymore. Now people kind of have to care. If you see it for 2 years, you see all these kids and mothers and just anybody, you see the whole level or the whole streets just leveled and there's nothing there anymore. So now that it's out there like that, I think that like people are going to start to have to care more about people that don't look like themselves, basically.
Yeah. Go ahead, Scott.
Oh, I was just going to say, I just feel so overwhelmed by growing up in a country whose education system is so poor that I just feel like I just sit here and try to catch up. So, Guatemala, okay, all right, King Leopold. I learned that one only maybe a year ago. Right.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And it's just the catch up is like overwhelming. But I think it's most important to get that concept that the reason that we were not taught all of these things around the globe is because it was indigenous people, non-white people who were affected, hence not caring. And so that's what we have to, in our massive education that it has to go on now about the actual histories out there. We just have to, realize that was the reason.
Yeah, and they want us to be good little worker bees. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah. And so, like, we're the ones that did a lot of it, right? It's not that it just happened to other people. Like, it was us that did it, so we don't want to take responsibility. Oh, it wasn't us, it was our parents, or it was our parents, or whatever.
Yeah.
And even if it wasn't me or you that did it, if we still have the benefits from that, right? Like, we still have the land from the Native Americans. We still have everything. Like, most people don't know almost every college was built by slaves. Harvard was built by slave labor.
Right.
Yale, every single college built before 1900, which is almost all of them, was built by slave labor. And people don't know that. But then if we built the colleges, why can't black people go to school for free then? We don't get the like when your parents go the generational thing, like if your parents go to the school, then you can go to the school for free or whatnot. Well, we built it. We built the school. Can't we go at least for half off or something?
Yeah, I think JB told us about that from RBN.
RBN, yeah.
And yeah, and now these colleges are like bending the knee to Trump. They should be, everybody should leave. They shouldn't exist. If they're going to be part of the system that's going to oppress us,
right?
Why would you want to go to school there? What good is your degree? It kind of marks you as being okay with genocide, and you're on the side of, the Nazi movement in our country.
I've always wondered why, like, black people would go to Alabama or go to Georgia. Like, why would you go to those schools when they have like a General Lee way at their, you know, like they have all these buildings named after these Confederates and stuff, where you could just easily go to any school in the North, any school in the West that doesn't have these Confederate names and flags around. And it's like indoctrinated into us just to do the right thing, right? Sit in the right row, sit in the right place, and don't question things. So it's like a lot of that, and it's good that we have the internet now, YouTube and things like this show where we can educate people, and other shows, you know, where you learn stuff. Like you said, you learned about Leopold a year ago or so. I learned it on the internet probably like 10 or 15 years ago, right? Like the paper I read, I've got it on the internet. I was looking up YouTube, or not YouTube stuff. I don't know what I was looking up, but I ended up finding this paper on Palestine and Israel and just read it. And I was like, wow, it was crazy. It was like an hour-long read. It was this real long paper. Yeah. When I started to read it, it just got real interesting and I couldn't stop reading it. I didn't think I was going to read it all, but I read the whole thing and I was like, this is amazing, but not amazing like in a good way. It's an amazing story, but you know, like crazy stuff was happening.
Right.
But I mean, if anybody wants to look it up, it's called The Twin Evils, Wahhabism and Zionism.
Oh, wow. Okay.
For a while, it was hard I found it and then I tried to look it up and share it with people. Then it was hard to find for a while, but now I found it again. So a lot of the things I used to share, like on my Facebook, on my memories, they'd be like taken down. This stuff isn't up anymore. Right. So a lot of the things that I talk about will be gone sometimes.
Oh yeah, no, we haven't covered it yet, but there was a story, it may have been Gray Zone, where they were talking about how now Facebook has put just a whole team together, and it's led by a Zionist from Israel to just go through and pull out everything that has been talked against Israel. And so that's an operation that's happened currently. So yeah, if things are disappearing, there's a reason for that.
Land of the free?
Yeah.
Land of the free. Is this where we live?
Well, that's why they've talked about, you know, every time a new technology comes through, they talk about having a government service. I can remember in Chicago, maybe 5-10 years ago, they were going to have Chicagoland Wi-Fi, free Wi-Fi. And didn't happen, right? They've talked about having, you know, government just open internet service or apps and, you know, things like that. Not happening. They just, it has to be privatized so they can control it the way they want to control it.
Yeah. Well, if you don't mind, we're going to move on to the Border Patrol.
Okay.
Just briefly. And of course, Jordan, you can chime in anytime you like.
Yeah.
Border Patrol and ICE agents are arresting U.S. citizens in immigration raids. That should chill you, no matter who you are. If you've ever yelled "Free Palestine," I guess you're up for grabs now. Since federal agents descended onto Los Angeles streets in early June, several United States citizens have been detained and held in immigration detention centers. They didn't immigrate, except for, you know, some distant relative, but they're citizens. A Capitol and Maine review of local reporting, video, and social media posts found at least 9 citizens were taken into custody by agents with U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement or U.S. Customs Border Protection after protesting near or observing immigration raids in the Los Angeles area since June 6th. 2 are currently facing federal charges for protesting.
Right.
That's supposed to be. You can take it down, Hazel.
Yeah, without a doubt. You know, you make a good point. So there are 3 groups that they're going after. They're going after anyone who's non-white, and so that, you know, with no due process, they're going to skip that process. So non-white, protesting Palestine, and protesting ICE. That's the new one. So 3 groups that they are primarily going after. But yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a lot to say on this one, but yeah.
Go for it, please. Yeah, jump in. We interrupted.
And they removed that. They removed that part from our the Constitution that's on the government website, the due process part, and the what's the habeas corpus. And Obama's the one that took it, like made it irrelevant.
Right.
But now,
and
now they just want to remove it completely.
Chris Hedges tried to sue Obama when he removed habeas corpus.
I think he won.
Oh, I don't think so.
I thought I know he said he sued him.
Yeah. But anyway, go ahead, Jordan.
I just when I hear people talk about this, it makes me think about in the 90s when the Clintons militarized the police, right? And they were coming at black people, and then Obama was when BLM went off, right? And Black Lives Matter, they were all attacked. Like that's when the cell phones and the pictures or the videos started getting out a lot. And it's like they have that thing now where it's called black fatigue, right? And it goes both ways, because like the black people are like, oh, we're tired of this stuff and we're done. And now like the white people want to take the term and flip it on them, like we have black fatigue from y'all. But it's like we've been going through this for so long, and like the Democrats are the ones who militarize the police. That Donald Trump is talking about, oh, bang their head when you put them in the car, do this and that and that. So like people are so mad at Donald Trump, are so focused on Donald Trump, but Donald Trump is using the tools that the Democrats gave him. You know what I'm saying? Like he wouldn't be able to do this without without Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton and their super predator speak and stuff like that, and Joe Biden talking about working across the aisle with Strom Thurmond and these people, right? And busing and all this stuff. Like it's like, man, it's crazy to me sometimes. And yeah, like I feel for the Palestinians, and I agree, like we should be protesting and we shouldn't be supplying Israel with this money and stuff. But how much people care about it so much when it's just like, we've been asking, like, hey, help us out. Like they're attacking us. We're showing videos and all this stuff, and people cared for like 10 minutes and then they stopped caring. But it's like it's a world thing, right? It needs to be the workers of the world, the people of the world united, like the Palestinians, the blacks, the whites, everybody, the trailer park people, the people in the South. Like we all need to, because it's the 1%. Like these people, they don't have borders, right? Donald Trump goes wherever he wants. The Prince of Saudi, the Putin, like what's his name, Netanyahu. He can come to America. He can go where he wants. He can go to these different countries, right? He's supposed to be on the international whatever list, like he's supposed to be getting arrested from the ICC or something, right? But he can still walk in any country he wants to. Yeah. But if you're like a regular American, you can't just go to Russia, or you just can't go to Saudi Arabia, because mostly we don't have the money, right? And then you got to have a passport and certain things, and just to walk into Saudi Arabia, like, oh, I'm gonna go rub that golden thing. What, like, you can't do that, like these people, they act like, oh, he says Russians and Chinese are bad. But then he sits there, I have calls with Putin, and I have calls with Xi Jinping, and I go see them, and we have dinner and cakes, and we love each other. And he goes to North Korea with homeboy, right? And Kim Jong-un, and they have a love relationship. Why can't the people of the countries have a love relationship too? Like you guys aren't, like, it's so crazy. Like I live in Hawaii. I meet people from all over the world. I met Chinese people, Russian people, all kinds of people. Never had a problem with anybody. Yeah, for just being who they were, right? Like, oh, you're Chinese, okay, cool, and then we play volleyball. Like, nothing.
Right, and just like Palestine before 1948, everybody got along. It was Christians and Muslims and Jews, and it was everybody. And they show pictures of the past when it was fine. It was the Zionists, not Jews, Zionists, who came in and destroyed it.
Yeah, and the reason they don't want the people to get along is because their propaganda narrative won't work any longer. Once you actually get to know and find out it's bullshit,
right?
Like people are just not going to cooperate anymore. So that's why they this America first and America's the greatest and blah 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 is designed to keep us from knowing the rest of the world. That's what it's for. And by the way, I've recently heard, I read so much I can't remember exactly where, so apologies, but they're starting to question you and search you if you want to leave the country.
Yeah, right.
So that ties into the thing we just talked about they're building a wall around us. So we'll be captive, and then we're next. I swear we're next.
And there's no doubt that, this internal within the U.S., the whole, duopoly fake fight of Republicans versus Democrats, until people can become post-duopoly. I mean, that's kind of what we're trying to do at the Green Party, is get people to understand that that's a fake fight. And so, we have to convince people. And once they leave the duopoly, then our government is not, our government will fall, because we're not going to allow them to put up this charade.
Yeah, it's the WWF versus the WWE.
Right,
That's
right.
what we got going on
in
DC.
Yep.
But I don't look at it as like our government will fall, right? Because like our government right now is for the corporations. If like say the Green Party wins, or DSA, or some like People Party wins, then the government will be a people's government. Like I guess the way it is now, what we see as our government will kind of come down, but the government, I think, will run better. It'll work better. If it's ran by like you and me and other coaches and other like teachers and people who worked at a coffee shop and people who did other stuff, We wouldn't be like, oh, we want to go to war all the time. We'd be like, oh, this is what workers need. We need healthcare. You know, we need to have our kids taught after school, right, from 2 to 6. We need somebody watching our kids. You know, like, oh, we got a good football coach here. We want to pay these coaches a decent money to watch our kids after school, right, because they're doing something with them. Instead of making coaches volunteer all the time, maybe pay them or something. Just lots of different ideas that regular people would have, where Donald Trump is just like, oh, we're going to do tax cuts. Like, if you don't make over, like, say, $200,000, tax cuts really don't do much for you. Like, if you make $100,000 or less, you get tax cuts. Where are you going to take home another $5,000? You're just going to spend it, like, you know, and then it's just not a whole lot of money, really. If you're a millionaire, yeah, tax cuts might mean something, but most of us aren't millionaires, so
yeah. And I think, Jordan, you make a great point. The more I'm involved in the Green Party, the more I'm convinced that we need regular folks in government, and actually us regular folks, we know more about the situations than the politicians do. We have a deeper understanding because all they do is spend their time just, you know, kowtowing with their donors and learning what the propaganda that they're supposed to recite when asked a question. But they actually don't know stuff. They don't know about Ukraine. They don't know history. They don't know anything about what's going on. We are way more experts than they are. And so actually the government, when I said the fall of our government, I just mean the fall of the corporate government that we have.
We've had the lived experience. We've experienced what they've done to the country as working class people.
Right.
And on that,
my kids' generation and my grandkids' generation right now, they are completely screwed.
Right. And a lot of our government people, they haven't been shopping. Like, you saw that one video with that Dr. Oz guy, right, talking about crudité or whatever, and going out trying to buy a bunch of groceries. It didn't even take a cart, didn't bring a bag. He's trying to hold them all in his arms, walking around like, dude, you ain't never been shopping before, really? And you're gonna tell us how are you gonna bring grocery prices down or something? Like, when's the last time Donald Trump went to the store and like swiped the card for a bag of anything? You know, like some carrots or something? Like, nah.
Right.
Yes.
They're gonna tell us they can help our daily life better.
Yeah.
Yep. And Nancy Pelosi with her fridge full of ice cream.
Right.
Ice cream.
I don't know what I'd do without chocolate.
Forever burned in my brain.
Well, I was saying to Edie, I'm going to add. We're trying to put together our own specific platform in Illinois for things that we want to discuss. And again, to point to, it's much better to have regular folks to be in our government. I mean, one thing that drove me nuts was that I was on the Affordable Care Act for many years. And the assistance that the government gives to, let's say, Blue Cross and Blue Shield, which is, for me, it was like $1,400 a month that they were giving. I get taxed on that money. So when it's my annual income tax, I have to pay a tax on the government helping out Blue Cross Blue Shield. It's insane that stuff exists. But, the politicians, they have lived very comfortable lives. They don't know about any of this crap. And so, we are the right people to be in government because we go through these experiences.
Yeah, I just wanted to bring it back to talking about the immigration raids that are happening. They're in the school system.
Yeah.
So this is from SharePost. Keep immigration raids out of our schools. So now they're attacking our kids. Yeah. So that tells you what level they're willing to go. This is by Sonia Banker. Other words. One of Trump's administration's first actions after assuming office was to rescind the Biden administration's guidelines for immigration and customs enforcement, ICE, which limited enforcement activity in sensitive locations like schools and churches. Since then, immigration raids have escalated, often under questionable pretenses. This spring, immigration agents tried to enter 2 elementary schools in Los Angeles. At the door, agents said they wanted to determine students' well-being and claimed to have authorization from the children's caretakers. Administrators denied them entry, and when they spoke with caretakers later, they learned that agents had lied about receiving permission. I'm absolutely incensed that DHS agents would try to enter elementary schools, said Rep. Judy Chu, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but what did you do about it? Did you go file a complaint? Did you pass something that did you talk to Gavin Newsom, tell him that's not allowed and pass the law? Can you fast track it? And you can get money for war in 24 hours, but they're attacking the kids that live in your community and you're doing nothing except for like making a statement.
Yeah,
that's pretty crazy.
That's my problem with the Dems. Sorry. That's my rant. I'm done.
Yeah, no, right. And we've said this many times that the problem with the Democrats is that they supported the systems that got us here, like you were saying, Jordan. I mean, you're right. There was a bill that went through California Congress about not allowing the prison systems to work with ICE, and Gavin Newsom vetoed it. So there's no doubt, he's on his way to trying to be a president. So he's going to go right wing as he can, so that he can, try to, be attractive to both sides. That's the worst. Lesser of two evils, be both evil. It's like,
yeah. Like, I find it funny that people can say they'll vote for evil. Like, the lesser of two evils, why would you vote for either one if they're both evil? It just doesn't make sense to me.
And what's crazy is that when I made like memes about this, when the lesser of two evils is genocide, and they still voted for it. They voted for Kamala Harris, knowing that the Democrats, they were doing genocide for a whole year, and yet they were still going to vote for that lesser evil.
Yeah, I was going to say, when I went to the local farmers market, handing out the little Jill Stein, vote for Jill Stein postcards, and she was a write-in because they made it really hard to get on the ballot, because that's what they do. And I didn't even try to sell them on it. All I said was, vote for the greater good. Vote for the greater good. Just anybody that passed by. And then if they want to stop and talk, hopefully I had a partner, so then I could talk to them and somebody else could just keep handing it. Because that's what the Green Party is. We are the greater good. And should we get power, we need the people to put us there. We can't do it on our own. We don't take the super PAC and the corporate money.
Right.
So the donors that we will be beholden to are the people.
Yeah.
Right, exactly.
That elect us. It's very simple.
And that's what I tell people. That's why I got into the party. I got into the Green Party last December, so I've been in less than a year.
Okay, cool.
And so I got, tricked by Bernie both times. Like 2016, I was really into it, right? And then when they cheated him, I wanted him to go to the Green Party. Like, Jill Stein even asked him to come to the Green Party. He told her no. And then I was done with the Democrats. And then he ran in 2020. Yeah. And then so I'm like, all right, let's do this again. And it obviously didn't work. And just I didn't vote for the Democrats after that. I wasn't a Democrat then, and I didn't try to be a Democrat or talk about Democrats. But watching Kamala and Donald Trump and all this, I'm like, there's got to be something, right? You can't, the corporations have the two parties. They're no matter what, they're going to fund them parties. They're going to be there, and if the people are going to do something, we need a lot of people to get up and do something, right? We need a lot of people to get up and get in the Green Party, get up and get in DSA, get up and get in PSL, get up and get in all these parties. And then what I do is I call the DSA members around here, I call the PSL members around here, and I try to get all the left-wing parties that are actually left to come together, right? Like, your candidate is our candidate is your candidate, like, same thing. Let's all vote together because we're the people, but like, just get the fervor up or whatever, like, because it has to take the people to beat the corporations. If people are going to be uneducated, if people aren't going to get excited about an election, if people aren't going to vote in the midterms, those money-powered people, they're going to vote in the midterms. They're going to make sure that they get at least a certain amount of votes that they get their candidate in. So I just realized that, the people have to get in the Green Party, have to get in something, have to start doing something, or the corporations will just keep owning us.
Yeah, I want to hear more about what you said. You were reaching out to DSA and PSL.
I was just going to say really quickly that, until we get, this is the only, I don't know a lot of sports, but until we slide one past the goalie and get somebody in there, we should all be behind one force to like push it in. But go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to hear, Jordan, more. How is it going reaching out to DSA and PSL?
So here in Hawaii, very good.
Okay.
I actually haven't really met any PSL people out here.
Okay.
But the DSA I've met, and I've gone to a couple of their just different functions, and they've come to our functions a couple, mostly like the online meetings that we have every month. But we met at the when you go to what are those, like when they're holding up the signs, what are those called? Yeah, the protests and different things like that. We've gone to a couple of different functions. We'll meet up, right? We'll have different tables. There'll be a Green Party table. There'll be a DSA table. And we'll normally do it next to each other. Or if we're already setting up and like I get there late and they're separate, then we'll go back and forth and talk to each other and whatnot. And just, but I hear art, like when I talk to other people in the Green Party about DSA, a lot of them say that the DSAs in the other states are like Democrats. They just try to funnel you into the Democratic Party. I don't get that here.
Okay.
They're really not like that. They're very socialistic or socialist. They're a little bit slow moving. I talked to them about running candidates and stuff, and they say that they're scared now because Trump is in office. They don't want to say socialist too loud because they think that Trump will come get them right a little bit. So they're saying they don't want to really run a candidate or do too much until after Trump is out of office. But other than that, they make the sign, they come out, they talk the right stuff. I don't think that they don't try to funnel you to the Democrats. They're a real DSA wing out here. But I hear a lot of them in other states aren't like that.
Yeah, I think Edie has the same experience with the DSA down in Gales. She's in the southern part of Illinois, and she says the same thing. I know I'm very critical. I'm like, it's just hearing about the upper levels of the DSA and how they've always succumbed to the Democrats, and so yeah, it's tricky. But I think what I would say is push them to endorse you. And like to publicly endorse you if they are really, for your campaign, because that's what we need. I mean, people can say a lot of things, but they need to publicly endorse. That's when you know that, okay, yes, they are actually behind you. And it was interesting, like the whole PSL thing, like I got really pissed because PSL is running a candidate against Butch Ware, who's running for governor in the Green Party in California. And he was pissed about it. He was the one who announced it. And just the fact that he had announced months ago and it just seemed, not great. But then I went and looked at PSL, and it seems like for the most part, PSL, they're not state-based. They might be in certain cities and stuff. Mm-hmm. But I have seen that they will run a candidate, but they'll run them through the Green Party. Oh, they'll run them through the Peace and Freedom. Yeah, Peace and Freedom. What they're doing. So, I mean, that's a good thing. That's a good thing there. But yeah, it's just really important that, we push for left unity, but we want real left unity and not fake left unity, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, we got a couple more. I want to make sure we cover everything. Then we can just concentrate on what you're up to. So we'll try to get through the next couple. So America the Foo Bar, William J. Astor from Tom Dispatch, Sheer Post. I'll just read this little section. What is to be done? I mean, that's what everybody's asking, right? All leaders, military and civilian, must remember their oath loyalty to the Constitution, not to any man. Illegal orders must be resisted. Congress must impeach and remove a president who acts unlawfully. It must also reassert its distinctly lost authority to declare war, and it must stop taking legal bribes from the lobbyists, foot soldiers who flood the halls of Congress, peddling influence with campaign contributions. After all, the few can do little without the consent of the many. It is up to the many, that's us, to reclaim and restore America. I thought that was well written.
Nice.
Exactly. Like I said, you got to join the Green Party, right? The people need to get up, get in a party. The people-powered party. It takes people to power it, right? So
yeah,
it absolutely does. And then the C.A. Matthews thing is from the Revolution Continues, which is a fellow Green. I found them by attending the annual national meeting.
Okay.
They like texted me in the chat, which is really cool.
Okay.
Says, give your life meaning, unlearn hopelessness, and set out to do something about making the world a better place. The world will thank you for it, and that is what we do here. I mean, you guys can read through if you want, but it's performance versus action. That's my thing. Like the no kings and the hands off and there's another one coming up about Medicare and Medicaid. It's performative to get people to feel like they've done something. And then they're going to there's no action behind it. There's nothing to do. They're not asking you to strike. They're not asking you to boycott. They're not asking you to go challenge your representative in the face. You know, most of the time I can't even find my rep because he never posts anything until after he's already been there. He's hiding out.
Yeah.
You know, I've been thinking about, instead of signing petitions and calling and leaving a message, call your local representative, your senator, and the person that answers the phone, say, why are you working for somebody that is voting for a genocide and starving children?
Right.
Let's start shaming them and get them to quit.
Right.
Say, are you okay with blood money in your bank account? I swear, I'm going to go very hard at them very soon.
Right.
Unless I get my speech down. But yeah, thanks, Hazel.
And it's true that those petitions like change.org and all those, they don't do a thing. They're just collecting, info to start texting and emailing you. That's the reality. But
a lot of those are Democratic funnels too, like MoveOn.org, all those things. Like you said, email, but for the Democratic Party, you start getting emails from the Democratic Party, like,
that's why.
It's crazy.
Yeah, we have to unlearn our hopelessness. I see Hazel still got this up. I think she wants me to read something else. Okay. May the starved children of Gaza haunt the conscience of every silent person in the world.
Yeah.
There's one.
I know.
Israel kills babies. Israel kills children. Israel kills women. Israel kills journalists. Israel kills doctors. Israel kills patients. Israel bombs UN staff. Israel bombs homes. Israel bombs hospital. Israel bombs schools. No wonder it's called doom scrolling.
And they, with every time you say Israel, it's /US because they wouldn't do it. It wouldn't be able to do it with our military funding.
Not at all.
Yep.
Yeah, and then that last one that you were showing, Hazel, is from the Bible. Psalm 82, 3-4. Defend the weak and the fatherless. Uphold the cause of the poor and the oppressed. Rescue the weak and the needy. Deliver them from the hand of the wicked. So all you Christians out there.
Oh, I mean, my upbringing is Christian, and my family doesn't watch this, but I talk often about. I'm horrified. I'm horrified by Christians who are MAGA. It doesn't make, it is a complete opposite. I grew up in church. I heard all the stories. Jesus was the coolest, right? I just, it's radical leftist, right? And then, but you look at the churches of today and they're just the absolute furthest away, and everything they do, every act they take seems like the opposite. Kicking out immigrants, that's Christian. It's so bizarre. The phrase, what would Jesus do? Yeah, he wouldn't be kicking out immigrants. Trust me.
Blaming the poor and ridiculing them and gathering up the homeless and put them into detention center. Like, oh my God.
Jesus would be getting kicked out right now himself.
Oh God, he was Palestinian. He'd probably be by now.
Starving.
Right, starving. He'd be starving. I just can't. I don't know. How do you put these pieces together? How does it? It's bizarre.
So I do want to put up this comment. Brian Grigsby, thank you for this.
Oh, hey,
Over
Brian.
the years, the lesser of evils has become an equivalency. One is now as bad as the other.
Yeah.
To me, a lifelong dim in the past, I will not vote.
I hope you meant I will not vote Democrat. I hope you didn't.
Right.
I hope
Green.
you're gonna vote green.
Right?
There's a
Green
place to vote. That's actually another problem is that people say that I won't vote. It's like, yeah, but folks, we do have an option if we can get on the ballot. I will give you that.
Make
we
your
have
vote count. It counts with the Green Party. It doesn't count with the other two. They could care less.
You
They
can
don't even
vote
have
down
primaries.
Yeah, right.
But anyway, go ahead, Jordan.
I was about to say, like, just even vote down ballot, right? Like, if you don't want to vote for the president or you don't want to vote Democrat or Republican, look at every person on the ballot that's not a Democrat or Republican and vote for them. Like, make it known that we're going to go out and vote, and make it known that we're not going to vote for Democrats or Republicans, especially like if you're like a lefty or even a libertarian, right? If you want to be outside of the duopoly, show that we're going to show up and vote for just anyone, not them, right? And then that'll like say like we start winning down ballot a couple things here and there or whatever, but they're obviously going to probably win president the first couple of times if we don't have nobody running real big. But I mean, if we do have somebody running for president like we normally do, right? if you vote all the ballot, then vote all the ballot. But if people just go out and vote, we can win. But to say, yeah, I'm not going to vote, then you're doing what they want. They want you to not vote.
Yep, absolutely.
So Brian, I hope if that's what you meant, I hope we've. Oh, he did say. Hang on. So hang on. For any DMs, he finished the thought. Right. So thank goodness.
Perfect.
Ask your representatives. How many wars are we prosecuting today? Yeah. I asked that, and they could not give me an answer.
Right.
Good one, Richard. Thank you.
Oh my God! You know, and it's very true. Even I bet our Congress folks don't know like where all the bombs get dropped. I swear they don't.
I don't know. I just vote yes because that's what my donors tell me to do.
Yep.
Speaking of that, I saw yesterday, and I forget, like you said, I watched so much stuff, I forget where I saw it. But somebody was going around asking Democrats and Republicans, do you know how many people or how many U.S. citizens Israel has killed in the past 2 years since October 7th?
Yep.
And so none of them knew. And a couple of them, one was a lady, as she was getting in her car, she said, I stand with Israel, and just shut her door. That's all she said. And I think she was a Democrat, but he asked both Democrats and Republicans, and none of them cared. They were just like, someone was like, oh, I don't know, whatever. And then just, they didn't have a response. They didn't have a care. And then some of them, he would be like, I forget the number. It was like, I forget. I don't even want to make up a number. But he said a number to them, and they said they didn't believe him. And like, if you just go out there like, oh, I don't care, I don't believe you.
Well, Rachel Corey.
About the facts, that's crazy. Go ahead.
Rachel Corey made huge news. Like, I mean, there's an example of a person that's dead. That was an American citizen that went to the West Bank, I think it was, and got run over by a bulldozer trying to save their home, right?
Yeah, but when you say huge news, no, it wasn't. That's the thing. I mean,
it wasn't my world.
Right. No, exactly. In our world, they're big, but no, they don't know. They don't know. But you know what Jordan was saying, I know that in the news, if a U.S. citizen was killed in another country, let's say Mexico or so, I mean, it would be huge, massive news. And Jordan's right. I actually don't know the number, but every once in a while, Palestinian American killed, journalist killed. You know, you see the headlines of a person with U.S. citizenship being killed in Israel. I'd say every, I don't know, few weeks. And
doctor, aid worker.
Right.
You know.
Right. The aid workers. Yep.
Doctors there are starving to death trying to save lives right now.
Yeah.
And you know, some of our Americans, I mean, they captured the Handala and beat the crap out of Chris Smalls because he was the only person of color on the boat.
Right.
They didn't beat everybody else up.
Right. Yeah.
You know, racism on display much.
Right. So like you said, if they're not white, if they're brown, they don't care as much, right? So that it's a U.S. citizen, but it's a Palestinian U.S. citizen. So, you know, they don't really care quite that much about.
You know, they want to, you know, give wall-to-wall coverage of some sweet young blonde little girl or young woman that got captured, you know, and make it like wall-to-wall coverage for 6 months. And so you don't talk about everything. Not that that's good, but come on, proportionality a little bit.
And there was the meme of where AOC was standing by Chris Smalls at a rally, a union rally, and she was all in with Chris Smalls, but then no comment when he gets beaten up by IDF, right?
He should have accidentally elbowed her. Oh, sorry, AOC. I bet he would now.
Yeah, right. These people.
Well, so the next part is for you, Scott. We made a special segment for you. Sorry, it's not as filled out.
Okay.
AI versus water.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I'll let you talk about this a little bit.
Well, except I can't read it, so you're gonna have to.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll read some and let you comment. How's that sound?
Yeah.
Let me get it pulled up. This is from the Economic Times. Texas AI centers guzzle 463 million gallons. Now residents are asked to cut back on their showers for AI. So all you people that think AI is cool, don't use it. And here's why.
And the thing is, we don't have them all, but I think I saw 4 different articles of different places around the country where this is becoming a battle already, where there, you know, people are having issues around water because of the local AI, you know, whether it's, I don't know if it's Microsoft or whether, you know, which company it was, but a few of them. So I mean, I feel like we're all overwhelmed by all the battles we have. So here's a new one. So now we're going to have to, and you see how AI is really taking over in terms of now you type anything in the computer and there's AI waiting there for you to click so that you're going to have AI talk, right? And so, and I guess I didn't know, but I guess the technology is that it takes so much more processing to do AI.
So this one was Microsoft.
Oh,
Microsoft's Stargate
okay.
campus leads to AI data center boom.
Okay.
And it also poisons the groundwater, by the way.
Oh, that's nice.
It's a win-win. So you can go, hey.
Double negative, so it's positive.
Yeah. Oh, it's that math. You have new math.
There you
There
go.
we
Right?
And
You gotta spin it right.
And it's just so sick that, we already have an issue around water because of climate change, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so now on top of this, I mean, the battles are just, it's endless and it's really, really frightening. I mean, yeah, I made up a little slogan for the Green Party. I made a meme and it said, choose water over AI. And it's like, we're at some point, right, we're going to have, like Edie said, we're going to have to boycott it too. And we've got to fight this.
I remember that water wasn't always in your grocery store. You got it from your tap.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, that
so
seemed
what
like
is AI
that's
doing
happened
with all the water?
year.
Is it to cool it down?
I think, right. It's the processing, right. They have to cool the centers or something. It's just insane. That I know.
Why would that make the water bad? Couldn't it just run by, stay clean, and just, it cools it down or whatever?
Probably because they don't care.
No, I wonder if it's just evaporating. I don't know the science actually behind it, but it's just.
I mean, well, if it evaporated, then it should just really go into the air and come back down as rain. It should just kind of move around a little bit. But you said it was poisoning the ground or something. Like, why would they need it? It just be in a tube going by the stuff to cool it off. It shouldn't be like interacting with the chemicals of the air. Like, I don't see why it would have to make the water bad. That seems weird.
No, I know. I haven't, like I said, I just saw it like the day before. So, and it's just the fact that I saw 4 different articles in 4 different locations.
But I mean, they're probably just like saving money or something. Like, there's probably a way they could do it and keep the water fine or whatever, and not contaminate the groundwater. There's always, it just seems weird.
Yeah, that's for those poor people.
Right. Oh, we're not worried about that. They can drink it. But it's just like weird. Like almost every solution we have has all these extra negatives that comes with it. Like, oh, here's a cell phone. Now you get brain cancer, or whatever stupid stuff. Or here's this. Now you get this. AI. You don't get water no more. What?
Yeah. No, it's weird, right? And we'll see how it plays out. The other interesting thing, again, I just saw it, I think this morning, so I didn't have a chance to get it up and share it, is now there's going to be a class action suit against the makers of AI for copyright infringement. Because when you think about it, that's what it's all based on, is AI is just taking all of the information that's out there and putting it all together and spitting it back out. But all the information that was written by people who took hours and hours of time to come up with their, things, and they've copyrighted all of those things, and they've copyrighted their artwork, and they've copyrighted, right? And now AI just says, screw copyrights. We're just going to grab it all and use it. So we'll see. I mean, that's a really interesting take, is that there is supposedly a class action suit, and there could be millions of people involved in that class action whose information, whose writing and artwork and all that kind of stuff has been stolen.
Yeah, Amazon is famous for it.
Yeah, right.
Right. Amazon takes an invention or somebody's, work, and will create a shadow company to overtake yours, and then or just steal it outright. I'm not quite sure how they do it, but
there was a brief time, and as an individual, what are you going to hire lawyers and shit? But like, I'm a singer-songwriter, and I was putting out CDs, and then at some point, I noticed that I went to Amazon, and they were selling my CD with a fake cover, and like, I know, but it's like I wasn't going to bother. And then like nobody wanted to buy CDs, so it all fell apart anyway. But but right, that's a crude example of something that's happening on a mass scale. So we'll see what happens with that.
And it's making us intellectually lazy, and it's killing our creativity. And I would argue that the arts, and painting, reading, playing music, all of that is what makes you human. The rest of it is just a job,
Oh, I mean, that
it's
is
your reason for
so,
being.
So just again, my own little personal experience, I wanted to throw too much in, but right, as I'm a musician, we perform live, we perform in clubs and bars and stuff. And it is so true that that's the point. I mean, the point, right? You can hit a button on a computer and it can make a song for you. Great. Right. But if you didn't create it yourself, then I mean, unless obviously there are people that are just in for careers, and they say that the music industry will probably be AI music like 95% pretty soon. It'll just be computer generated. But again, if the point is to love what you do and feel, the emotions of that creativity and stuff, I mean, it's just avoid it, folks. I have never made an AI song in my life, and I never will. It's gross. Just gross.
Right. I mean, for AI, I think mostly it should be used for healthcare. Like, you don't need to use it too much if it's going to do all this water stuff. But like, if you can help save lives, if you can help doctors diagnose things, if you can help do a surgery more precise, things like that, to me, that's like the best use of AI. That's what people should focus on. But again, we're going to be capitalists and make music and do art and sell stuff to make money and not help people, right? So.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. No, I mean, that's a really good point, right? Look at our health. We have health insurance. We have, not health care, right? So it's that same thing. It's great stuff that's out there. Instead of giving people care, they give you an insurance policy that you got to start paying into and gamble that you're not going to get too sick. So, right. You're exactly. It's the same concept. Yep.
Yeah. And it all comes down to the choices that average people make, that the working class makes. Pay attention, go look at your bank account, look at where you spend your money. Think about who's benefiting. Is that something you want to continue doing? Right. And I know a lot of it's for convenience. I know there's some people that can't help it because they're physically unable. I get that. Yeah. However, if it's a choice, choose something else. Right. And I wanted to bring up the last thing, and then it's all about you, Jordan. Fast fashion poisoning the world.
Yeah. Oh, this is good. This is good. Oh, it is
Yeah, it's Instagram or Facebook. Facebook. Let's try it, Hazel, and see how it goes. I kind of like that it's jumping.
There's something happening here, but it ain't exactly clear.
Okay. Yeah. It still jumped a little bit. But it makes the point is that, right, fast fashion and making all these clothes that just get used for a week and then throw it out and it just, landfill or beach fill is what it ends up by some of those pictures. I mean,
it's labor violations to make them.
Yeah.
In foreign countries, and then when you use it, it falls apart, and then they ship it off to those same places to poison their environment. I mean, there are rivers running yellow, green, red, like literally, like bright.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Thanks for adding more information to it. But yeah, no, you're making great points, right? Stuff that's real cheap, made real quick, and that's just going to fall apart. So you throw it out, and then all the dyes involved. Wow.
Yeah, go vintage. Go shop.
Right. I only do thrift stores. I only do thrift stores.
So I want to ask Jordan. I checked out your website. I'll post it to get in the chat. Your platform. You got like your core, and I think it's pretty much the same as mine. And we've never spoken. So.
Well, there you go. A lot of the Green Party has the same core.
Okay.
Yeah.
Universal health care, ending wars, education, like some of mine is like ending food deserts, things like that, right? So like, so the universal health care, homelessness, ending housing first rather than trying to say you got to get a job before you can get a house, like get a house, get cleaned up, then we can help you get a job type of thing. Just ranked choice voting. That's the best way for the Green Party to get on anything, right? That for the people to get any kind of say, like Zoran Mandani, he got on from New York, right? And so, yeah, if we can get ranked choice voting going on, that would help a lot.
Yep. All right.
So everybody follow the website there.
Yeah, ranked choice voting. They're pushing it pretty well in Illinois. It's the group's called Fair Vote Illinois, and I worked with them for a while, and they're making little strides. Towns, have taken it on, but we don't have it statewide yet. And you're right. I mean, that's the best thing that New York City has is ranked choice voting. It just frees people up. You know, I'm a hardcore person, so I'm going to vote no matter what. But there's a lot of people who still feel that fear that, you know, by voting independent, you're helping the other side. So yeah, we do need it installed everywhere we can.
Yeah, and fear
it's
is
funny
their
that
tool.
both sides will say that. The Republicans, oh, you're going to help the other side. The Democrats, oh, you're going to help the other side. Like, you guys are the same side.
Right. I know. That's why I say we technically don't need ranked choice voting, but I get it. I get why it would help. It would certainly help us, no doubt, because people haven't recognized, they haven't gone post-duopoly quite yet.
No, not enough.
Yeah.
But I feel like this is our moment because Democrats are at an all-time low. So if they're reporting 26%, which is the lowest that it's ever been, since they started tracking favorability, you know it's lower than that. You know, they're even losing their core base, and Trump, since in his first 100 days, lost like 57 points or something.
Yeah.
So, you know, people are ready for something different, and we're here waiting to take the reins and show you what we can do for people, you know?
So I think, the Green, we need to try to get on a lot of YouTube shows. We need to try to get out there right now. Like you said, now's the time. No one likes what the Democrats or the Republicans are doing. So I think like I'm on your show, but I think we need to try to get on the liberal shows too, that are like, they say they're leftist, but they really back the Democrats mostly.
Yeah.
But get on their show and like show what real leftists say, like not just say, but we would do it, right? We would really try to pass universal health care. We're not just going to talk about, oh, everybody deserves health care. But like, and people have asked me, how would you hold a Green Party member like accountable? Like if we got into office and we didn't try to pass universal health care, if we flipped on our stuff, the Green Party would kick us out. Like I don't think the Green Party would let somebody be in the party that's like, oh well, universal health care, that's a little bit complicated now. You know, like you're not a Green no more. You gotta go.
Well, and also that they don't understand where the pressure is coming from politicians. That's the difference. The Green Party person in office wouldn't have the pressures that the Democrats and Republicans have. They wouldn't have the threats coming from their donor. If you do this, we are not going to fund your reelection campaign. Right. That's what they don't understand. They don't understand that politicians are not following the people because they're under threat by their donors. That's what they're doing. Right. So yeah, So how is the Green Party of Hawaii? I think you're the first person that we've talked to from Hawaii. So yeah, how is the Green Party of Hawaii? Is it going good?
I found it very welcoming. I found it. We do a lot of communicating. We meet once a month.
Okay.
The very first meeting I went to, they were talking about how they wanted to be taken over by the youth. They want young people to come in and fill the party. And it is a little bit older, the Green Party here. And actually, I've noticed that kind of throughout the nation, and we do need a youth insurgents. And I don't know, I got to try to focus on that a bit. But back to the Green Party of Hawaii, they like me a lot. They're backing me. The National Green Party is backing me also. But the Green Party of Hawaii they like me from day one. They like everything that I said. But they're a really good party. One of the main guys, he goes to a homeless place and feeds the homeless every Sunday. I think it is Sunday or Saturday. I think it's Sunday.
Nice.
But they're pretty active, and I've noticed that about the Green Party everywhere. It's like people are pretty active. They donate their time, like either their food or their time, or they go places like either once a week or some even more than once a week.
Yeah.
So the Green Party of Hawaii is like that too, where the people are volunteering and going out into the public and whatnot. I'm on the IA neighborhood board. I did that since I became a Green Party member. So IA is my city or whatever. So I'm on my neighborhood board.
Oh, nice.
There's a couple other Green Party members on city councils and neighborhood boards out here. And we got some people starting to, like, I'm going to run for U.S. House of Representatives. We have a lady that's going to run for governor. Her name is Emma Pullman.
Oh, we got to get her
on.
on.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
We have Jackie Keefe is running for city council or something. She's on Maui. She's her big thing is the wildfires, right? And so whatever, I forget exactly what seat she's running for, but she's running for something in Maui. And her thing is the wildfires. Emma Pullman is real big on water, like the water rights out here. Like the military out here, they had a big oil spill or jet engine spill. It's called Red Hill. So if you look up Red Hill in Hawaii, maybe U.S. military, whatever, it'll talk about the spill. And so they contaminated a lot of our water, and basically they paid some people off but didn't fix the water, right? And so they just gave people money to go buy bottled water, you know, and now then they didn't give everybody money to buy bottled water, just some people.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of people here talking about water rights is a big thing here. So that's Emma Pullman's big thing is water rights.
Okay.
And so yeah, and one thing that we're trying to do that I want to do is if we can get this bill right, if I can get elected and then say Emma Pullman gets elected and Jackie Key, if we all get elected, we could show I'll be in what do you call it, in Washington talking about, oh, Hawaii needs this, that, or whatever for the water rights, and then get money for Emma Pullman or whatever, get money for the water rights here because she's working hard here, doing whatever we need for the water here, and I'll be working hard in Washington to get the money for her, and then go down to the wildfires with Jackie, right? And then Emma will be working with her to do whatever, and then we'll be showing what like all needs to be done and that it can be done if you have the right people in office, rather than being like, oh, well, it's difficult, it's hard, we got to take some time and do this. Like, nah.
Fun to study. Yeah, exactly.
Anytime they say it's complicated, that is a deflection.
Right. Yeah.
It means I don't want to take the time to learn.
Right.
Yeah. No, that's really, and there's a person here in Illinois. They're not running for any office, but they worked in Springfield, which is our House of Congress, and they are really adamant now. They think like one of the biggest problems is these bills that have tons of stuff packed into them, so you're not you can never really vote any specific way for something because you're going to get a lot of crap in there. And she's real strong about single issue bills, and they have to get to the point. She goes, if I got in, I would vote no on everything until they made it a single issue bill with no any amendments that are off topic, not allowed. Because that's the thing. That's how they get all their crap in these bills, because people feel forced to vote for them when
and you need a team of people to read it, and they don't give you time.
That'd be so long.
Right. I mean, the omnibus is like this, like it's a like I don't know.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. They know you're not going to read it all.
Of course. Right. Right.
Well, I posted all of your socials that I could find in the chat, your Instagram, your TikTok, and your YouTube, and it's called where did it go? Oh, Across the Spectrum.
Yes,
and you did have a video of that. I didn't know if you wanted us to play anything or if you want to just keep chatting.
It's up to you.
This is your dime.
Yeah. I have my very first interview is on there. That's a pretty good one. Like it's on the what does it say? Like about not about us, like introduction.
I might have put it in the chat. No, it's in the base camp, Hazel, if you want to grab it at the bottom.
And Jordan, yeah, we definitely got to get you on some other shows. Do you know the folks over at RBN? Because we should get you over there.
Not personally. I watch RBN, and I know I watch Savvy Sabs all the time.
Okay.
He's one of my favorite people to watch.
I know both Nick and Rome and JB. We met and had JB on this show, and I've hung out with Nick and Rome a couple times because Rome does his tour for the poor, and he's come into Chicago a couple times, and so Nick has come up. So yeah, we'll get you in touch with those folks because you should definitely be on. Yeah, you should be on RBN.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, here you go.
Yeah, there you go.
It's about 3 minutes.
Aloha, and my name is Jordan Conley. This channel is Across the Spectrum. I just wanted to give you a brief little overview of who I am so you know who's talking in the videos. And this is an interview or story that was done on me a few years ago just before COVID happened with a nonprofit I ran called Hapamana. So let's see, here we go.
And a Walker nonprofit found a formula to help at-risk youth get their bodies in motion and then exercise their minds.
Yeah, our Jim Mendoza shows us more about the program called Hapamana.
Welcome to Hapamana.
In an old gymnasium in Kunia Village, a nonprofit group uses sports to engage and encourage low-income youth. The group is called Hapamana.
Hapamana is a sports organization that acts more as a community outreach group.
In its 3 years, Hapamana has reached more than 100 children and teens in Kunia Village and dozens more at IHS and Kahauiki Village.
We come here. We come to where there's low-income kids. We go to IHS where there's homeless kids. We just take it to them.
Nice passes!
Hapamana's free afternoon sports programs and weekend camps offer youth a variety of options, from individual to team sports. The goal is to exercise their bodies and their minds.
We really feel that kids deserve the opportunities. They don't choose their circumstances. And so we want to make sure that all kids get the same kind of opportunities to learn and grow.
Hapamana also integrates education and professional development into its program, and it partners with other organizations.
We would like to expand to where we can make this a in-school program, an after-school program, and our weekend camps.
The nonprofit wants to expand beyond Kunia Village to help more young people.
Everybody has a skill, has a talent. We want to help them find that.
To learn more about Hapamana, go to hapamana.org. We've also got a link on our website. Jim Mendoza, Hawaii News Now.
That's fantastic. Excellent. Excellent. Wow.
Yeah, so you've been doing this for a while.
I started
this is just
Hapamana.
another way to help the community.
Yeah, I started Hapamana in 2016, and so we actually ended in about 2021 after COVID.
Okay, yeah, COVID, right? Yeah.
Kind of hard to get together and play ball if you can't.
Right, that's what it was all about, bringing as many people together as you
Right,
could.
is it 6 feet? You can't touch the ball. Get your sanitizer.
Let's see.
It's the exact opposite of what my thing was about.
Right,
COVID.
6 feet apart sports. Okay. What
Wear
kind of
your
sport?
mask and your gloves.
And stay away from me.
But that's another reason I got into the Green Party, right? Because they shut everything down, the government, and they shut my jobs down because I worked at schools, I worked at and I worked at a hospital, but I was doing like fitness at the hospital, so they shut that part down, and so. If it was like, say, the Green Party or somebody else, I could see shutting the government down maybe for like a month. But after that, I think, you got to make your choice, right? Okay, we got this illness going around. You can be sick. You go out. We got to go to work. We got to live life, right? Some people are going to die. I mean, this is kind of how it is, right? If you want to stay home, stay home. We pay you to stay home a little bit. But like they shut down all that. All those kids don't have that anymore. What Hapamana was giving them. And these were kids, like I said, some are homeless. And it was a low income area, right? And what I did, like I said, I worked at the hospital. I brought doctors and nurses and all these different people. They would come and work with these kids and do little classes with them, teach them origami, teach them how to speak different languages, teach them. And they'd be like, oh, well, what do you want us to teach them? I said, whatever you know. You're a doctor. I don't know how to be a doctor. You just teach them whatever you think a smart person should know. You could teach them colors or anything. It doesn't matter to me. Like, you're successful enough that whatever you think is good to me, right? So
right.
But so they lost that, right? And I'm sure other kids and other kids lost a whole year of school. That wasn't good, and that was a government thing that the Democrats and Republicans both did. It started with it started with Trump for a year, then Joe Biden, and both of them didn't do too hot. And so again, that's one of the reasons I joined the Green Party too, is because I didn't want to be in government. I didn't want to be in politics. I started Hapamana, so I didn't have to do that. I was going to save the world through like just helping kids, right, and grow them up and have them start other Hapamanas around, and we just do it ourselves. But then the government can even just be like, nah, we're going to shut you down. So okay, fine. Then I guess we got to.
And that's why you have to run.
That's one thing I want to do with the Green Party is make Green Party like Hapamana. We just need to, as we bring in donations and stuff, we should just go to schools and do events, just work with kids, do after school programs, and I kind of put that as our commercial. Like, we could film it a little bit and be like, this is what we're doing. We're going out into the public. We're doing what the public needs right now, rather than, and then if you vote us in, we'll get to do even more because we'll have more money, we'll have more say, we'll have more pool. And then these simple little after school programs I'm doing, I can do it with government funds. I can do it through the government and make sure now way more kids get it, or all kids get it.
Right. Equally. Right. Exactly. I mean, my comment about COVID was that was the worst thing, is that the government, damn it, they always prioritize those corporations. So the small family businesses had to shut down. Right. But sure enough, the Walmart, they opened a few aisles. You could go there, Right. I mean, they always made sure the corporations were okay.
Amazon delivery was fine.
Yeah.
Regardless of those people working in the warehouses, right side by side, can't even go to the
fast food joints were good. The mom and pop shop shut down.
Yep. Exactly.
I delivered food, even though it was chips, so I was essential. So I had to be out there right in the COVID. So I used to get really pissed off at my liberal friends, like, oh, I'm so scared. I'm like, dude, I've been out here the whole time. Right? Shut up.
I mean, it's like your choice, right? If you want to stay home, stay home. But if you want to go out, go out. Mm-hmm. But they shouldn't have forced us all to stay home that long. Like that was just way too long and crazy.
They should have paid our salary. Like
they
Germany
should
did.
have paid our salaries, but to tell people they got to stay home for like a year, however long that was crazy, man. Like I could see maybe a month, but once you see it's going to be, oh, we don't know how long this is going to be. Now it's up to you guys. You guys have certain choices you can make. We'll have certain buildings where you stay 6 feet apart. We'll have certain buildings where you can mingle, and then we'll just see like what happens, right? Because I mean, you can't adjust for everything. Life is life, right? You can't. People drive; you're going to get in a car wreck, right? Some people are going to die in the car. Some people are going to die on planes. Like you can't save everybody from everything. It's like a nanny state. I'm gonna be a mommy and stuff. That's crazy to me.
And and with that whole vaccine mandate, that was just the most disgusting. Everybody.
And I don't like shots, and I had to take a vaccine that I didn't want to take.
Right, and the thing is, it's bodily autonomy, right? That's supposed to be one of our core principles, and they threw that out all for. And again, this is the corporatization of our government, because Pfizer was going to push this and make sure that they had everybody taking it, so they forced it on people. And the reality is, as I've said on many times on this show, it wasn't even a vaccine. It was a good prophylactic, but it wasn't a vaccine because it didn't stop you from getting it. And once you got it, even with the vaccine, it didn't stop you from transmitting. So that's not a vaccine, folks. They call it vaccine. It ain't. It ain't a vaccine. A good prophylactic. It was really good at keeping the people that were most susceptible, old folks, overweight folks, the real susceptible people.
It was about this.
Right. But it worked for those folks. I'm not saying it wasn't a good shot for those who needed it, but to mandate it and you lose your job over it, oh my God, it was horrific.
Yeah. And my conspiracy mind thinks that all this was kind of done on purpose to disrupt our communities.
Yes, too sometimes.
No, there is theories about how they were using this, and obviously, this is biowarfare. That's what they were in the lab studying to make viruses more potent. That's biowarfare. There's no reason to make a virus more potent, right?
Yeah, I meant the stay-at-home orders. And I just want to throw this in there. Then it's all you, Jordan. I recently found out that the governor used executive orders during COVID. Can't we do that for everything else?
Right.
Trump's getting by with it. Let's go.
Right.
Like you were saying, they mandated the shot to make you healthy or whatever. If the government really cared about our health, one, you wouldn't sell cigarettes. Then, two, if you really cared about our health, you should mandate everybody goes to the gym for an hour. You got to go work out. Or not if you don't mandate it. Say every job you work 8 hours instead of having to work 8 hours. If you go to the gym for 1 hour a day, you can work 6 hours. We'll trade you out 1 hour so the travel time and the whatnot. Then now we're a lot healthier and it's incentivized and whatever. And you can play you can go play a sport. You can go play basketball for an hour. Go play volleyball for an hour. Go play soccer for an hour. Whatever, right? Don't go play Nintendo or PlayStation for an hour. But it just doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna mandate you to take a shot that we just made in the past year or two, however long that COVID came out, and you made this shot and it's going to be really healthy for me. And you care about my health now, and you sell me McDonald's, you sell me cigarettes, you sell me all this stuff that'll kill me, but you're gonna mandate a shot now, and you're not gonna mandate me going to the gym? That's crazy.
Yeah. You poison my water, you poison my air, you don't
give
me a living wage
a shot.
where I can work a 40-hour week. Flint's still a thing. They still haven't fixed their water.
Right.
And there's tons of other places that we've never even heard of.
There's lead all throughout America. There was some bill they were supposed to try to pass that was supposed to change the lead pipes out through America in the next 10 or 20 years or something like that. And it was supposed to be billions of dollars or whatever. And I think they didn't pass the bill, but there's lead all through America. There's lead all in Hawaii that they're trying to change out the pipes now. It's really bad if you really look into how much lead there is in just the American water system or piping system.
Right.
I think you might have a friend in the chat.
Oh, okay.
Do you know who this is? I'll let you say their name if you do.
Okay. Connect the people through the Green Party for the greater good. Hapamana style. Oh, nice. Thank you, Green Party, for giving everyone a choice and bringing down the duopoly. That's what we're trying. Let's
go. And I love this.
Love it.
I spent some time in California, and the cultures are kind of
Hang loose. Yes.
Okay.
Got the water people.
Nice.
I think the water makes you healthier. Just being next to it,
Right. absolutely.
Definitely changes your mood and your vibe. So.
Oh yes, it does. For me, it's weird being on the mainland. Like when I go to the mainland, and even just the trees look different. The trees are different. Like depending on where you are. In Hawaii, there's mountains everywhere. When I'm on the mainland where I'm at, normally there's not mountains. I'm in Ohio, and I was in Florida for a while. And so there's no mountains. There's like the background is just way different. I'm like, wow. And in Hawaii, there's chickens everywhere. Like you can hear chickens everywhere. No matter where you're at in Hawaii, there's going to be a chicken within 100 feet of you probably.
Wow,
And
that's
so
cool.
when I'm on the mainland and there's no chickens and you can't hear chickens, I'm like looking around, where's the chickens? I feel like I've been here 20 years, and if there's not a chicken crowing every 20 or so minutes, I feel weird. Like I didn't notice that until I went to Florida and there was no chickens. And I'm like looking around, where are the chickens?
Well, it's because Florida's got the alligators.
Well, I've got that same feeling in Chicago. I mean, where are the Kentucky Fried Chickens? Oh yeah, there's one. So we kind of have chickens around.
Scott would feel lost if he didn't hear the sirens every 20 minutes.
Well, yeah, your siren. Yeah. No, but actually, I will say I live like 500 feet from Lake Michigan, so I also have some water here. That's very, so I get what you're feeling. I mean, it's so true. Being by the water is super important.
Yeah.
Well, and we all, if you believe in evolution, that's where we came from. So just being in its presence, I think it's down to a cellular level that we just get it. Being by the ocean this is our home.
Yeah.
I know I feel like that when I go see it.
Yeah. But you're also grounded when you're by the ocean, right? Because you're normally barefoot and you're walking on the grass or the sand, and that also, you get grounded to earth or whatnot. And then being in the water, I think being in the water like that grounds you too, since it's connected to the earth or whatnot.
Yeah.
But I know walking on the sand does. So just before you get in the water, you feel better too.
Yep. Man,
I can't swim well, so I just admire. And
I swim like a fish.
Like Shindy.
Okay.
I love the water.
Yeah. I do love it though. I mean, I'm an artist. That's what I paint.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's
I've been to Waimea Bay. I've been in about 20, 25 foot waves.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Holy moly.
Nice. I tried to surf once. Oh my gosh, no.
Yeah, I body surf. I don't get on the board. Like I stay in the water and body surf. That's a lot easier for me.
I
I
just
like
kind of ride it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
That might be more my level. Well, I love your platform, and it is the Green Party platform. Universal health care, higher minimum wage. You included universal basic income to go along with that.
Okay.
Food production and knowledge, education, teach indigenous languages and cultures, ranked choice voting, campaign public finance, corruption in government. I'm assuming you want to get rid of it.
And corruption in government.
Homelessness, housing first, food security, and a 50-state strategy.
Yeah.
So you want to talk any of those or all of those, or I'm especially interested in the 50-state.
So the 50-state strategies, I've been sending some emails out. I'm sending some more. I want to get the Green Party, everybody to like start doing shows together. So like say this would have like say Butch Ware on it, Andy
Ellis. Yeah,
Andy Ellis from and then just like get all the top Green Party people that people would watch on the same show at the same time, so that people from all over the nation are watching. And then say we do a bunch of shows like that. Say you get say Butch and Andy Ellis, and then you get somebody like me on, and then somebody like Emma Pullman on. Somebody that I don't know from another state, right? And so they're going to tune in to see Butch Ware, but then they'll see this other guy or other lady that they don't necessarily know. So Butch is going to help, promote these people. And then it's like, do a bunch of shows with just a bunch of people who try to get on like Savvy Sabs, and say if I can get on Savvy Sabs, I'll tell her to get Andy Ellis on, and to get like Emma Pullman and just Jackie Keefe and the different people from the Green Party, and just try to pass along the information so that we can all get on any of the shows. And on one of my pages, I think I have it up, there's a bunch of YouTube links to different shows that are say left wing, center, and right wing. And one of the things I think we need to do as a Green Party is send out a big email to everybody and say, hey, we all need to watch these certain shows. We all need to comment on these shows and comment Green Party stuff, and like each other's comments, comment on each other's comments, and show that the Green Party is out there and doing things. And then other people will comment, oh, well, the Green Party sucks, or oh, I like the Green Party, whatever. And then we can talk to them too and show them that we have 20 people on this one little YouTube video talking to people. So, oh man, maybe the Green Party is doing something. Because everybody, where's the Green Party at? Oh, Jill Stein only comes out every 4 years, this and that. Well, Jill Stein, she volunteers a lot, right? And then a lot of the Green Party volunteers a lot, and we don't get in front of the camera and do what the Democrats and Republicans do, be like, look at me, right? We're not like that. We're more regular people doing regular people stuff. And so kind of the 50-state strategy is letting us know, hey, we got to be a little bit more than regular people. We got to start be a little bit look at me stuff so that they do look at us and they will vote for us. Because if we don't say, hey, look at me, look at us, and show people, other Green Party people, they won't know to vote for us.
Yeah. Oh, Jordan, that is exactly what we're trying to do here. I mean, and, you know, I've been pushing, both Heidi and I have maybe been super involved less than a year. And so we are just trying to push everyone to push each other on social medias, go to people's campaigns, share, like, comment. And yes, absolutely. What Green Live Stream, what our show we are trying to do is to be a national platform, because we're trying to reach out to everybody we can. We've had Butch on, we've had Andy on, but I love your idea of having them all on so that, you know, and that's a fantastic.
Cross-pollinate is what we called it the other day.
Okay, nice.
So like what could be good too, like say you got the guys from RBN, if you had one of them on right now, or Savvy Sabs or somebody, right? Because then you cross-pollinate the shows too, because people who watch Savvy or RBN will watch this show with either me or Butch or whoever on, right? And then, but that'll just help your show grow too, if you guys can have some of them on every now and then, right? And I'll come on as much as you want. You can come on my show if you guys want, type of deal.
Yeah.
But then like go on Andy's show and stuff, and like every time I get on the show, I'm like, come on my show, and I've been on a couple other shows, and I'll send like a couple emails between you guys and stuff, so that if you guys want to be on their show or they want to be on your show, type of deal, then you know, just the more eyes the better.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd love to have anybody that you want to come on to our show, and I am running for lieutenant governor, and we have a governor that is gearing up her campaign as well, and we'd love to. I mean, that's what a candidate's job is to talk and be the face, you know. The policies and the volunteering and all that, you know, your job is to be at public events and run your mouth and raise money.
And there's no doubt. Illinois? Yeah, we're in Illinois. Yeah. Okay. And there's no doubt that's how the YouTube world has grown. Is people they understand you got to be a guest on somebody else's show. That's how you see. That's how I saw Nick Cruz from RBN. I mean, there's so many people. I saw them on a different show. They were a guest, and I was like, wow, I love this person. I got to go find their show. Exactly. So it's so important. So yeah, we definitely, and you know, we do push Savvy Sabs and Breonna Joy Gray and Nick Cruz, because they've all really been very positive about the Green Party, because so much of the left space, they won't make that jump. They're going to complain about the Democrats and the Republicans, but they're not going to push anybody. They're just going to say, or things like, we need a new party, we need an independent left party, as if the Green Party doesn't exist, you know. So there's a lot of that crap out there, but those are the ones we've been pushing, because they've been specifically that they are for the Green Party. And so, absolutely.
And I hope they have us on their show too, because we don't want the Democrats to like fool them again. Like right now they're with us because of Jill.
Yeah.
But we want them to see that we're still busting our butts even harder.
Right.
You know, in the off season to get coverage.
Right.
You know. Yeah. So Sabby, if you're listening, JB, just saying. We'd love to come on your show. Actually, we're gonna be on Alexandria and I are going to be on David Rich's Let's Talk Lake County on Tuesday night Central Time, 5:30.
Okay.
He used to be the host of this, and you know, he wanted to try something different, so we go support him, and he still supports us. So cross pollination, I like that. That's a great way to say it. And and your friend here says, Malama says on the website there's a build the coalition tab that has the list you're referring to.
Oh, excellent. Okay.
So there's a lot of YouTube channels, and I'm pretty sure it says like what I think of them, if they're left wing, center, liberal, or right wing and whatnot. Because I watch far left to far right stuff.
Okay.
The least that I watch is like kind of like liberal, like CNN type stuff. That gets on my nerves a little bit.
Right.
Mainstream is a.
But I watch the extreme right just to know what they're doing and know what they're saying and right. And like Trump winning both his times didn't surprise me at all. And all these people, like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he won. I was telling people he's going to be Hillary Clinton. Like, yeah, he don't stand a chance, or she don't stand a chance. They're like, oh, there's no way she can lose. I'm like, have you been watching this?
Yeah.
Like, what planet are you on?
Yeah.
And people say, oh, I didn't think he was going to do this. I'm like, have you heard him speak?
Right.
When people tell you who they are, you should believe them.
Yeah.
They said that about Hitler too. Well, I don't think he's going to be that bad. Well, it kind of turned out bad.
Yeah.
Kind of turned out bad.
Right.
They tell you who they are.
That's a good list on that page. Then, like all the Green Party people, we need to get on that and just start commenting. And then look at, if you see Green Party comments, like them, say something to them, like, because I think we need to take over just YouTube. Really, we need to just, as a party, like just because it's the people ask where we at. We need to be out there and show them where we're at, and then have them join. Like I think that's really the best way that we could do this, is really just attack YouTube, attack the internet, and just have people see us everywhere.
Yeah.
Jordan, we will definitely be in touch, because I totally agree with that. And yeah, we have to be like you. We have to have our TikTok videos that are Green Party identified, and everybody in the Green Party out there sharing and liking and commenting. You are so right. I mean, we go through our membership list in Illinois, and I'm like, why don't I see these people out here? Because we see each other's comments, and the ones who are active, we see them. So it's like, come on, everybody, let's go. We got to get, because that's the main complaint, right? Oh, the Green Party, they just show up every 4 years. That's the main complaint. And so we have to really be out there all the time pushing.
Right.
Yeah, and it sounds like you and I come from more of an activist space. And I think that's what the Green Party needs. We got chastised for being activists. I'm like, don't tell me who I am. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
This is what the Green Party needs.
Right.
It seems like a lot of the Green Party's activists. Most of us seem to, be in the community doing things.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
So you can't deny someone's history just because you joined the Green Party. That I'm not going to fit people's molds. I'm just not.
Now, Jordan, I have a question about ballot access. What is it like for you in Hawaii? Is that
we're getting signatures? The Democratic Party sues us to get off the ballot all the time. So we're getting signatures. We're almost there. We only have to get, I think it was like 600 or 850, something like that. And we got 100 in one day. So
so guess how many we have to get?
I've heard like there's a couple thousand in some states. How many for you?
We are 25,000.
25,000.
And
no, we're like 600 or 800. Like really, like it's under 1,000.
Wow. And like you said, the Democrats will challenge us in court. So we kind of have to get double, 50,000.
And
so
see, I didn't know the Democrats were doing that.
Yeah, they do.
Like I said, I got in the Green Party in December, and then I started learning about Green Party stuff and looking into things. And the Democrats have all these little groups that are supposed to be left-wing groups that funnel you to the Democratic Party. They sue us off the ballot everywhere.
Right.
They are very against democracy. It's insane just the level of information they want to keep from the people. They have little groups. I'll go out to get signatures, and they'll be, oh, we can't sign because the Democratic Party, I work for this thing and I'll get fired or whatever. We have this group called HAPA out here, which unfortunately is the same as Hapamana, right? They came out after Hapamana. But Hapa out here in Polynesian means mixed or whatever. It actually means half, but they use it as in mixed. People always call me Hapa because I'm mixed. But there's a group out here called Hapa, not related to Hapamana. And it's kind of like the moveon.org. They get you in, they give you this training and stuff. They even have like live training where you go to certain buildings and classrooms and stuff. And the whole training at the end is to tell you that the best way to be a progressive and to do lefty things is through the Democratic Party. And I'm like, what? I went to them and had asked them to give me signatures. I'm like, oh, I know you guys will sign, right? We're this Green Party, whatever. But oh, we can't sign that. I'm like, you can't sign it just to have us on the ballot. Like, you don't have to vote for us. Just sign. Oh no, we don't want to split I said, dude, we're in Hawaii. Republicans cannot win here. A Republican that's going to win here is going to win regardless. But there's only going to be like 2 or 3 in anything. But Democrats here win with 80-something% of the vote almost every time. So even if we split the vote down the middle, the Republican would still have no chance. And even if we split the vote 3 ways, the Republican would still have no chance. Like, there's no splitting the vote in Hawaii. One of us are going to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
And they still wouldn't sign.
Yeah, Hazel just put in our chat. So Mike Bost is my congressperson, and we need 18,000 signatures, while Dems and Republicans need about 500 or so.
Right.
And if you go to our Facebook page, the Illinois Green Party Facebook group, by the way, instead, they posted what all the House districts need.
Yeah.
It is completely unfair. And,
insane.
you know, part of what we're doing is to become an established party because they have these thresholds. We have to get 5% of the governor's race. So that's why we're running statewide candidates.
Yeah.
You know, all those campaigns working together. And right now we have 3 that are recognized. You know, we're trying to get 7, but we'll see how it goes. So if you're in Illinois and you're listening and you want to run for office, let's go.
But Jordan,
ILGP.
Yeah, but Jordan, my suggestion, get at least twice the required. Definitely get at least twice the required because they will. And supposedly what they do is they go into court and they just randomly mark ones that they are opposed to. And then it's up to our side with lawyers to prove that they're legit. So
we got a call from the people. I don't know if they do it differently here or not, but I took the sheet myself to the place. It's like an office or whatever. And they took it, they looked at it, and then they actually, I don't know if the Green Party, her name is Susan, if the lady from the Green Party here, Susan, if she called them or they called her, but she told me that they already said, I think it was like 60 of them were good and the rest weren't or whatever, but they already checked them already and they told them how many were good and not. And so, yeah, it only took a few days, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brian says 25,000 is proof Dems are scared. They're scared.
Yeah. Right. Right.
And they should be.
Yeah.
Not the voters. The leaders.
They're not just scared, they cheat. It's like crazy with how they keep us off the ballot. Like, why would you want people to have more options? Just let people choose, you know? And then that's like how they're scared of ranked choice voting definitely shows how they're scared. Who doesn't want ranked choice voting?
Right.
That's the best way to vote for anything. Oh, if I can't have my number 1 option, let me get my number 2.
Right.
Well,
Exactly.
they don't even believe in Democratic primaries. So
no, they don't believe in anything.
We saw that. I was with you, Jordan. Like I saw that happened to me twice too. The Bernie thing. 2016. I'm like, oh well, these policies are great, and I supported him wholeheartedly. And then 2020, I'm like, let's try one more time. I'll just try harder. And he sold us out to the Democratic Party.
Yeah,
he chose his career. And I swear that last debate with him and Joe Biden. It's a good thing my husband was there because I was about to throw whatever I had in my hand at the TV. I'm like, Joe Biden is not your friend. He's the enemy. Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, Bernie was a very big disappointment for the end of his career.
Gross.
Yeah. But he also showed a model that we could use.
Right.
Of like just getting small donations and like getting people involved and getting them to believe in the platform that he stole from us.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and I didn't know that at the time. It's a learning curve, but now I know. And
well, I mean, he had been independent most of his career, right? And he kind of had that platform, but he tried to let's take over the Democratic Party. Okay, I was with him at first, right? Let's try that one time. If that didn't work, if that did not take over the Democratic Party, it cannot be taken over. He had those rallies. He had so many people. He would have won by a landslide. He would have dominated Donald Trump.
Right.
And then they're going to be like, oh, we don't want your movement. Go away. We'll take Hillary Clinton. What? Like, and then, like, if that's the time. If we didn't take over the Democratic Party, then I don't think it can be done. We just need to take all those people. If all those people just move right over to the Green Party, we win in landslides now.
Right.
And then
Right. Exactly.
We'll crush it.
Right.
And so that's
we have to convince them that the Democratic Party is not the way. We've tried. If Bernie couldn't do it, you're right. Nobody can do it.
But see, like what we need is a Bernie Sanders or a Zoran Mondani, right? Someone that almost gets famous, right? Like via Butch Ware or me or anybody. Like I don't necessarily want to be that person. I don't want to be running around like that. But I mean, I would. But if we need somebody like that to get famous, probably like in a Chicago, right, or New York, right, somewhere big, and then just everybody listens to. Oh, this is what the Green Party is about. Oh, okay. And now he goes on like the different shows and stuff, like the big podcast, those comedian shows, and even like Joe Rogan, right? Like Joe Rogan, the way he talks, when he would talk to Bernie Sanders, he loved what he was saying. If we could get a Green Party person on his show,
we could get Butch. Let's start the campaign now. Butch, go on Joe Rogan.
Yeah,
that'd be fantastic. Yeah,
Double your
Butch
way in
is a
there.
fantastic speaker.
Win.
He is amazing.
And Joe Rogan would love everything he has to say, and just that would blow Butch up, I'm sure, and then go to the next podcast and go to the next podcast. All them podcasts that gets millions of views, the Lex Friedman, all of them, and just blow up the Green Party. But I think that would be one of the best ways, right? We need somebody to kind of get famous.
Yeah, absolutely.
He does 10 to 15 interviews a week.
Yeah, he's working it. He's working hard.
He's working it hard, and he has graced us with his presence here, even though
Yeah,
we're
he came
not.
on my show
He'll
one
get
time.
millions of
good.
millions of followers. Oh, he did.
Yeah,
Excellent.
Yeah,
he
he's
gave me an
wonderful.
hour-long interview.
Nice.
He did us too.
Excellent. Yeah.
Oh. He's just a solid. He's a good dude.
Yeah.
Solid. Well, we don't want to keep you all day. We could.
But yeah, we will be in touch, Jordan. I'm serious about that because we need that's the 50 state that you're talking about. That's what we got to do. We got to get out into the social media realm and take it over. Exactly.
Right. Attack.
Yep.
I call it the guerrilla ground game.
There you go.
Let's go.
There you go.
Get on that. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Well, you
so
can hang on
much.
after if you like,
but
if you feel like chatting more. But we're gonna end the stream, and it's such a pleasure to have you. And everybody, go check out his website. Oh, hang on, let me get it back up.
Yeah, get it up there.
Sorry. And so we can close it out with this. Yeah, there we go.
There we go.
Or Hawaii.
Hawaii.com.
Yeah.
Everyone, go check him out and support him. And please, yes, thank you so much.
Donate, volunteer, whatever you can do.
Yes.
Mahalo.
You guys.
All
See you guys
right.
Wednesday.
Uprising, we're rising up. It's an uprising, we're rising up. It's an uprising. Fight the power. It's an uprising.